Happy New Year. Welcome back, everyone, to Tabletop Notch. We took a much-needed week off last Sunday to prepare to bring to you Campaign 2. It has been a long time in the works. We are thrilled to be starting up a brand new adventure, of which we've teased small portions of, but it's time to finally dive in for real. We welcome back to the table as regular cast members Erica, Deirdre, and Talon, who will be going on this adventure with us. It's been a long time since we've had a 5-person sort of official cast. Once upon a time, we had 5, and we're thrilled to have a full house once again. It feels good. It feels exciting. A full room. We hope you all enjoy the new overlays, and welcome to the Brunkhollow aesthetic, which is a very sort of Midwestern feel, as you will find thematically is very much a Western.
Really?
But we have so much to get in, but before we dive into the meat of the campaign, we do have our usual thing to do. And I know Jordan's going to go through some of them, but holy smokes, you guys are being crazy generous. I'm saying that right off the bat. We're thrilled to have you guys here and joining us.
Holy moly.
But shall we do a little housekeeping before we truly immerse ourselves?
Hell yeah. So, as Matt said, many of you are already taking advantage of this. Thank you. But it is September,
Yes.
so already if you have Amazon Prime, it's very easy to give us a little Prime sub. But it's like, what, 30% off of new subs?
Yes.
So thank you to all those people gifting. Thank you to all those people subbing. But
Thank you very
freaking
much.
huge. Here we are, Twitch, Sunday night.
Yeah.
If you want to
And
listen to the podcast version, that gets posted on Tuesday. If you want to watch a VOD on YouTube, you can also do that on Tuesday if you are a Patreon subscriber. Normally they show up on Fridays for the rest of the world, that we also appreciate. And when you watch. We are on all social medias that you may frequent. If you search Tabletop Notch, you'll find us. There's clips, there's behind the scenes stuff, there's pictures of some of our faces together, some separate. You can look at those as it pleases you. So thank you for joining us there. Drop us follows. And finally, there is a very active and robust Discord.
yeah.
That please join us there. There's been some awesome people. I locked the thread recently. Some of you,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. At least one person did guess.
Dead on?
Dead on.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the classes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll slowly see who
done.
you are if you got that. But there's discussion thread, newest episode discussion threads on there where you can talk about like later tonight after this episode. But there's fan art channels and Matt's community, Matt's homebrew, your community homebrew, all sorts of places to talk about D&D, your own stuff and our stuff on our Discord. Join us there, please.
So does that mean you're going to be recording a voicemail?
I think it does. I think
Anthony,
at least
that was
one.
the-
Oh, that was
I
the
promised
prize
I
or
would do it.
something?
Wait, don't tell me. Ask if this person wants it, I will record your voicemail outgoing
They
message.
better want it.
You
So-
give Carl Castle vibes. I'd say.
I will try. I will try. So I will be reaching out to you.
The growling.
Yeah, and that's
It's a red herring, because his character's going to be like,
Brunkhollow.
Oh, no.
Anyway, that's it for me.
throw it over to Jordan.
Yeah, what have we not covered? So, like, people are already exploring it, but we have a Patreon where you get not only, like, early access to some videos, but Matthew just grabbed the binder of all binders. It's pretty cool. Anthony, it's reached maximum thickness.
It has reached
I'll have
maximum
you know.
We have to
capacity.
upgrade because of the thickness.
It's perfect timing. The most recent one was some encounters that you can throw in your campaign that are on the road related, things your players might run into as they're traveling between settlements. But this, we will close the book on the season or campaign 1 homebrew, so we'll be changing up the format just a little bit. It'll be mostly the same. It'll just
We've
visual.
also just gotten a lot better at doing it,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we might revamp some of the earlier ones.
That's true.
Vintage thickness will remain.
Yes, the binder. If you have a half-inch binder, our Patreon fits perfectly into a half-inch binder.
We also, speaking of like our amazing community on Discord, there's several members who are building our fandom, like nothing to do with us. They are just doing an incredible job building all of this information. It's gonna be really helpful not only for our older campaigns, but for the current one. I've got a bunch of goodies ready to go and to drop them so that they can start building all of this really great resources for all of you to dive in and get further answers on. About the world that we're about to build and do.
Yeah, I think those names were also in the
Yeah,
countdown video.
yeah, they're-
Hope you enjoyed the new countdown video. We tried to shout out people for all their incredible contributions, whether it's financial subs and patrons or fandom-related stuff. So
Moderators,
Moderators,
timestampers,
mods, all that good shit.
it's amazing. We're extremely grateful, and before we begin here, I will also say we're extremely grateful that you guys are joining us here for the start of this campaign, because we love doing it, and we love doing it for such a passionate audience and community of players.
Yeah.
And so thank you guys first and foremost.
Oh yeah, we've also got merch, but we won't
Oh,
waste time on it.
yeah.
It's there. There's gonna be more stuff, new stuff. It's all about the older campaign. It's gonna be more in the new. As
Oh, we were
as
very
we develop
neutral today,
dungeon.
clothing-wise.
What?
You guys were
Oh,
very
yeah.
neutral.
We were
today.
going, Western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owlbears.
We're dressed
Horses.
for a funeral. Oh yeah.
The owlbears
Owlbears.
and
So
and
cute.
Raven
Pokodoko.
Pokodoko's art.
Phenomenal
Exactly.
artwork.
That's so cute.
Um,
Stop it.
but I think. Other than thanking people who have already been so freaking generous here. Oh gosh, I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as I can because holy smackaroli. Captain Kirk resubscribed, Crazy Locha gave out a sub, Golden Dagger resubscribed, Sung and Train resubscribed, Half Baked resubscribed, Jimmy Perot gave out a sub, Crazy Locha resubscribed, Low Brass Guy resubscribed, Crazy Locha gave 10 bits, Stabbing Cobra did a subscription, Crazy Locha 500 bits, Psycho Master subscribed with Prime, thank you, Detective Wyvern resubscribed, Jay Brownie 500 bits, Pre-Joy resubscribed, Crazy Locha 5 community subs, Mord Fist resubscribed, Bearsy Poo.
You're doing amazing.
Yep.
Doing amazing.
Bearsy Poo
my
subscribed,
God.
Strong resubscribed, Roar Knight gave out 20 community subs, Cat813 resubscribed, Pokodoko resubscribed, Peatrings resubscribed, Wizrunite gave out a sub. I'm like not even halfway done with this, dude.
Oh my
Earthbase
goodness.
resubscribed, Crazy Locha 10 community subs, La Chaka Kaka Brabra is subscribed, Burnzy resubscribed, Half Baked community sub, Muds Muffin resubscribed. Meeting Does, subscribe. Pokodoko 200 bits. Hazel of Tacos, I'm so sorry. This is so hard.
No,
subscribe.
you're good.
C Mezco, resubscribe. Doofenshmirtz Booty Cheeks with 25 community subs. Get out of here. G Fleecy resubscribed.
Oh,
Amy Fly 10 50
jeez.
bits. Roar Knight 10 community subs. Crazy Locha 10 community subs. I stink and I'm a dum dum. 10 community subs.
I stink and I'm a dum dum.
A campaign one throwback.
Roar Knight, another 10 community subs. Mad Rax resubscribed. Musician Prime subscribed. Doofenshmirtz, another 25 subs.
My
Mad
bad.
Rax, 5 community subs. Thaddeus, 5 community subs. Guys, legit Aaron subs.
Aaron?
This is.
That's a friend.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Quinlan Boss subscribed. Wowme Popsicle resubscribed. Give out a sub. I'm almost done. Doofenshmirtz Booty Cheeks with 10 community subs.
Oh
Holy
my
crap.
God.
Guys.
Thank you.
I really
I
hope
can't.
we would get to say Doofenshmirtz Booty Cheeks that many times, so thank you.
It pleases Erica greatly.
I had to explain to most of these people what that reference was.
We're old.
A little.
Matt knew.
No, I
I
didn't.
know,
Oh,
I'm the
wrong
one that brought
thing.
it up.
I said the wrong thing.
I want to talk about it.
But yeah, if you want, sub one at a time instead of 5.
Yeah,
that
there
way
you go.
she'll say Doofenshmirtz Booty Cheeks 5.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, guys.
Some names I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah,
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Even if you've probably been there all along, and if you haven't, welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, we know the first campaign was a very, very long campaign, and we're thrilled that some people are like coming back to check it out because we know it takes a long time to catch up to the first campaign. So if you're diving in fresh
only
here,
4 years of
fresh start, we're all here, we're ready to go.
So ready.
I think that's
Oh my God.
everything.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Dung really quick. One of our
Oh.
server boosters just did 3 community subs.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Dung. Oh my gosh.
And Jack Rabbit Power just did like 10.
Jack Rabbit, welcome back! Thank
Jack
you.
Rabbit, welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Nice to see you again.
All right.
All right, before we get inundated with more generosity, I believe it is officially time to bring us into the world of Campaign 2, which has been called Brunkhollow. Yes. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
No. Oh, the lead.
Oh, the leaves. Wait.
That's so cool.
Shh. Oh.
I see empty chairs in here today. More so than a week prior. And a week before that ought to be described as an embarrassment of riches compared to the pauperous assembly I see now before me. I hold you not in contempt, nor seek to rebuke or blame. It is our nature's prevailing penchant to seek to better ourselves, improve our position, our lot. At the present moment, I seek only to start a dialogue. And this dialogue concerns the many roads we take in life. Small roads and long roads. Never is your patience tested so readily as when you seek to endeavor to change. For progress can be slow and inconsistent in its presentation. But I beg of thee, take the small roads. Divert to a kindness when your instinct is to chastise. In desperation, turn not to brigandage, but to prayer. Take responsibility in a moment when the finger wishes so badly to point to others. These small roads will not revive your spirit in a day, but they will build a foundation of character that the sculptor with his chisel can shape and sharpen. On a small road, when a mistake is made, you must simply retrace your steps to the point of departure. But on a long road, there is cruelty in our inability to see the end until we have traversed it. At which point you may turn around and find that everything is quite different, and you do not know the way back. Long ago, the gods, with great foresight, sought to eliminate practiced magic. And so they did. Small traces persist, of course. But we said goodbye to the warlocks, and the wizards, and the druids. There was anger as the chosen few, the clerics, became the only great wielders of magic. But to those in anger, I ask you to consider the cruelty of the long roads. We do not see the end until we are there. But this is not true of the gods.
The gods have looked down these long roads. They have seen the barbarity and disparity that wanton use of magic brings, and they have asked us to put our faith in them. And so I have. And so too shall you, by taking the small roads. When I speak the name of Brunkhollow, I am certain that it is not the first time that you have heard it. Perhaps for many of the empty seats beside you, the last word uttered by the now vacant party was indeed this name, Brunkhollow. No gods at all in Brunkhollow. A divine blind spot. The people flock to this place because they believe that this is the long road that they have been waiting for. A chance to change and sculpt and better and improve and sharpen thyself without the impediment of practicing patience or reverence. But do not consider the long road without heeding this precept. You are the company you keep. Those that seek the shelter of Brunkhollow would have you believe that they are good people, just trying to find a way. And I have tried, in sermons past, to preach understanding in this regard and restraint. But it is past time to make my honest assessment known and to relay the feelings of the gods who I with humble confidence feel fit to represent. These demeritorious, insolent reprobates think that they can steal and murder and blaspheme. They think that with their boots dragging heavy from the feculent stench of failure upon them, that they can strut up to the promulgation line and wave their withered privates in our direction as they slink gutless toward the cesspool of counterfeit salvation. No gods in Brunkhollow? No, I think not. This is merely the delusion of the invertebrate, a desire to walk wobbling amongst their spineless peers. If ignorance is bliss, then Brunkhollow is euphoria. Make no mistake, the gods are waiting. For what, I do not know, but I assure you that you do not want to be there when they decide to demonstrate their purpose. As a man of faith, when I picture this town, I do not see houses and rivers and wagons. I see springs and metal teeth and lengths of chain, a trap so singularly obvious, and yet people dance along the jagged edge in willful lunacy. Close your eyes, close them, and picture the empty chairs around you and ask yourselves, what caste of miserable miscreants could you conceive to follow into such a place?
A steady wind kicks up on the ridge. Frequent bursts of air accompanied by the rustling of the surrounding trees. Seated atop a rocky outcrop that gives them a clear downhill view are two humans, a man and a woman, with their fur-lined coats tucked tight against their bodies. The man reaches over and wrestles a bottle from the woman's grasp. And he stands and looks over his shoulder up at the mountain. A ripple effect of swaying branches approaches from a distance. There's a gust of wind heading in his direction. He turns back downhill and he takes a healthy swig from the bottle. And he closes his eyes. Behind him, the ripple gets closer and the rustling gets louder. A torrent of air whooshes past him, strong enough that he's forced to take a step forward to balance himself. The woman curls up tight to shield her face, and the man opens his eyes, and he shouts down the mountainside. I am a prodigious fucking asshole! And the gust of wind dies down as quickly as it came, and he continues. An expulsive organ of enduring enormity, set forth upon the world to soil the drawers of saints. Permit me to reach into the recesses of my maw and produce a shit-stained itinerary from which I will recall my most memorable transgressions. I set ablaze a barn belonged to my brother after he would not loan me a horse. When my best friend died, I poisoned the wine at his wake, and while the others made sick in the bushes, I pilfered from the coffin that which he wished to be buried with. And at this, the woman sort of laughs and shakes her head. And in Mancuso, I gutted a lady of the fold after she caught on to my thieving of the church coffers. She noted my destitution and implored me to keep half with the promise of no repercussion. But I felled her anyhow. Another burst of wind comes through, and it prompts him to shout once more, I am a colossal fucking asshole! The breeze dies down again. So what then, and he holds his hand out, does it say of you that I stand here, a monument to your impotence? Finally, the woman pokes her head out from behind the thick lining of her collar. Dog barks confident from behind the fence and whimpers when the gate swings free. You interpret the whereabouts, the advertisement of my whereabouts, an invitation to interfere as cowardice? The woman stands, gets close to the man. They can't hear you, stupid. The man gestures to the rustling leaves around him. The wind will carry my intention across the border. Why do you think I holler so with the breeze as my buttress? And she snatches the bottle back from him. Because you're a fucking idiot. And she takes a swig from the bottle. Before the man can protest or counter with a slurred retort, the woman shields her eyes and she points out into the distance, where snaking around the bend between a pair of thickly timbered hills is a cloud of dust belonging to a caravan comprised of 3 wagons. Looks like new coaches coming up the Civil Road. Couple of hours out, I'd reckon. Always nerve-wracking riding through the Cusp. Wonder if they bring with them the gods' response to my inquiry. She taps him on the shoulder. Let's go. If it's dark when we're working our way back, you'll likely tumble to your drunken death. She puts the cork back in the bottle and begins to walk. True enough. The man turns, and the two of them begin to work their way up the hillside. Rumbling along through the ever-rolling highlands, a well-traveled path does little to keep the interior of these carriages from jostling to the point of discomfort. But since setting off from the small village of Merlai at just after the break of dawn, your thus far 6-hour journey has been an extended exercise in travel tolerance. The only thing that's stopping some of you from favoring passage on horseback is the unfamiliarity of the route. Not just to yourselves, but to just about everyone you spoke to leading up to your departure. In addition to its infancy as a settlement, for many the road to Brunkhollow is a one-way trip, so reliable navigators are few and far between. It's for this reason that you've sought out the transit expertise of Baker Mackland, a twitchy dwarf who you'd hardly know is pale-skinned thanks to the ink covering nearly every square inch of visible skin. Tattoos acquired both before and during his prison sentence. 8 years for something he isn't keen to discuss, as explained by those who know him. When there's a stretch of relative quiet, the 4 occupants of the lead wagon can hear Baker muttering to himself outside on the driver's bench, grumbles that occasionally morph into song and then back into profanities as if chastising himself for an unsanctioned public display of merriment. On the inside, cramped quarters are made even less palatable by the emphatic snoring of a man who, between Merlai and now, has probably spent less than 20 total minutes awake. The inverse being true of his 15-year-old son, who stares wide-eyed out the window, no loss of enthusiasm between the 4th tree you've passed and the 4,000th. Across from the two of them sit 2 elves of pale blue complexion. Their long, buckled coats and clustered jewelry seemingly more suited to the top deck of a corsair ship than these landlocked mountains. The older of the two smirks at her brother as she watches him push his hair out of his face, only to have it fall again seconds later when the wheels lurch over another bump. The boy looks out the window and then comes back in. He sticks his head fully out and then pulls it back inside, and then he slaps his dad kind of on the shoulder there, who kind of snorts, but doesn't seem to give or wake in any capacity that you can tell. Dad, we're coming over the next hill. I mean, we must be in the Cusp by now, but I don't feel nothing different. And he continues to watch the trees go by outside the window. And he turns to the two of you. My mother went to Brunkhollow ahead of us. She'd gone through the gate and had to get out fast. When she wrote, said the first thing she did after getting through the Cusp was show her bare bottom in an easterly direction. Told the gods to kiss her ass. But she's dead now. Killed by a griffin in the upweald, so we're told. We're going now to see to her remains, and Dad says maybe stay if we like the fit.
And, will you be showing your ass as you enter?
I wouldn't mind trying my hand at it, if the opportunity presents. You going through the gate too, or you just out here seeking your fortune?
We're just trying something new.
Trying something new ain't nothing newer than Brunkhollow.
Sorry about your mother.
Yeah, that's old news. Well, a couple months at least. Anyways, we're gonna retrieve the body and bring her to the cemetery to be buried. So my dad says anyway. What's the first thing you're gonna do when you get there? Me personally? I'm gonna wash my feet in the creek.
Aww.
I did that once in the river that runs through Vancor, and the leader of the local parish clubbed me with a stick. Said that stretch of water was holy, which always seemed like horseshit to me. It's a river, it ain't like I wipe my feet at the altar. So anyway, first thing, feed in the crick, then off to find dead mom.
All right. To be honest, I haven't given much thought about it, so...
We've had near 6 hours from Merli. What you been thinking about?
Yeah, El, what you been thinking about?
I suppose everything I left behind?
Me too. Left a lot behind. I mean, not a lot. We're not rich. But, you know, friends, family. Who knows if we'll ever come back from Brunkhollow. I said my goodbyes.
Well, I suppose, what are you gonna do first thing we get there?
I think I'm gonna find the fanciest pub. And I'm gonna have a good old drink.
Well, that sounds good to me if they'll let me in.
I don't know. Seeing some fuzz.
Yeah, I got a bit.
Yeah, I think they'll let you.
If I walk in behind you, maybe they'll just let me slide by.
I'm quite big, I'll probably hide you.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Sure. Whatever works for you, I suppose.
I'm sorry, I'll leave you and occupy myself with this winner. And he's looking out the window, but you can see his eyes kind of flick back to the two of you sometimes. And occasionally he checks in with his dad, who continues to kind of... every bump in the road prompting a kind of snore or sort of flippant kind of grunt.
Oi, Mackland! How much further do you suppose it is?
Still got a couple hours to go.
I'm gonna try to get some rest while I still can, I suppose.
Sure. And, speaking of mothers, when we get to Brunkhollow, better run your fingers through your fucking hair. Meryl wouldn't like it.
I'll do what I fucking want.
Both of you give me perception checks.
First roll on the game.
First roll.
Okay.
Perception.
Barrel.
You don't know that.
What am I doing?
Oh,
I've
okay,
forgotten
okay.
how to play. Here we go. 2.
12.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Here we go.
A couple of times between the bumps and lurches and rattling of the wagon, you can hear a little bit of that mumbling that your driver is sort of going through and the driver's bench, between song and mutterings and just musings to himself. A couple times he seems to be muttering about prayer, specifically, and forgiveness. And the general gist of the song that he sings and stops and sings and stops repeatedly is that one should pray before they lie down to sleep, because the gods never cease even when you're resting. So you don't want them to be looking the other way while something might befall you while you're sleeping. So a sort of a pledge to continue your prayers before you sleep so as not to have the gods turn their backs on you. So you hear that, sort of in pieces. You'll hear one line at a time, and then he'll go back to doing something else or just talking or focusing ahead, and then back to his song once again.
All right. I let that lull me to a nap if I can get some shut-eye.
Okay, yeah. Close your eyes. Try to join your slumbering companion across from you, who it's making it difficult because every once in a while you'll hear kind of a loud snort that jostles you back to feeling awake. Trailing this front carriage, at about 50 feet removed and keeping a consistent interval, is the second installment of the caravan. All of the wagons have luggage strapped to the roof. Some of them your bags, backpacks, weapons if they're too large to keep inside the cabin. But this one is piled particularly high. Large trunks on bottom and small parcels atop like a tiered wedding cake. And just as prone to toppling on a hard turn, sometimes the wagon will lurch and the top will kind of groan and bend as the ropes try to keep them tight to the roof. For those who were present for the boarding process, you know that most of these bags belong to the slender half-orc in the silk shirt and ribbon-garnished top hat, who, if he knows common, hasn't shown it yet, preferring to speak only in orc or content to stay silent altogether. Also seated in this carriage are 2 humans and a wood elf. The humans are almost comically mismatched. The man short and clean cut, with attire like he's about to attend a town hall meeting, for people who weren't important enough to be invited to the real town hall meeting. The woman is tall, with rigid muscular arms and wild flowing hair that drapes down across the breastplate she has over a sleeveless tunic. The elf's body is mostly obscured by her ratty low-crown hat and a thin, patterned poncho. But just below the fringe, you can see her idly fiddling with some kind of sharp metallic device that fits cleanly over her knuckles. This cabin is quiet. With people napping at various intervals, you've done very little more than exchange names and pleasantries throughout your ride together. As you sway back and forth, with the carriage kind of lulling you in and out of consciousness, you notice a small golden yellow bird with a pristine white beak swoops down, and it perches on the windowsill, surprisingly bold for such a fragile creature. And when it opens its mouth, it emits not a chirp, but a kind of like popping purr, like a and it makes that sound a few times. This would appear to be a tawny magpie, which your caravan leader, Mr. Mackland, mentioned in passing might be a sign that you're on the final ascent to Brunkhollow Valley. These birds are almost exclusively concentrated in that valley, so to see them, you assume that you're making progress toward Brunkhollow. For a moment, all four of you in the cabin, the half-orc and the three of you, stare at this kind of feathered symbol of your journey's progress. And then you regard each other with what feels like fresh eyes, as you may all soon be part of the same fledgling community for however short or long a period of time. The half-orc, who again hasn't spoken common up to this time, sort of acknowledges the group, says something in orc that I don't think any of you understand, if anyone speaks orc. He says something to you, and then he reaches down into a small kind of drawstring bag that he has at his feet, and he produces a kind of rather fancy bottle. It has kind of, it's blown in a glass sort of shape, like an hourglass shape, like it's wide at the top, thin in the middle, and then wide at the bottom again. He produces that, and a few small glasses from the bag at his feet. And sort of in a presumed acknowledgement of your journey nearing its end, he holds out the glasses.
Happy tidings from animals and friends alike. I'll join you.
And sort of steadying himself in the cabin, which rocks back and forth, he pours some drinks. Pours for you as well, if you'd like to pour.
Props. Hit me with that too.
Would you as well?
Thank you kindly.
Give me a perception check.
Snap. I will gladly do so. 26.
26.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
The notes kind of waft into your nostrils. It's kind of a nutty and sweet scent, brown sugar, a buttery kind of sensation, some spice on the palate, toasted nuts, candy apple, pepper. It's a wonderful bouquet of flavors. Something that's certainly more than some of the swill that you had at Merlai before you departed on your way to Brunkhollow. He sort of raises
Brunkhollow.
Brunkhollow.
Cheers. Can't say I've had the vintage before, but I will share its qualities with whomever may inquire about where I might get a good drink around here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He kind of smiles back at you. He seems to pick up on your intention, but he doesn't seem to understand it. Give me an insight check.
No.
To see maybe how much is registering to him.
Insight. We're gonna take it. 16.
16. Yeah, like I said, the friendly intentions are imparted, but you can tell word for word he's not understanding everything that you're saying. Which is also uncommon for a half-orc, especially one that's clearly traveling between cities, to not speak common. That's unusual, certainly. Most of the orcs that don't speak common at all are like mountain tribes or secular communities that are not in the cities.
Brilliant. Be a source of friendship, I'm sure, from days to come.
And with the alcohol kind of waking everyone up a little bit, giving a little shot of energy, suddenly the cabin feels just a little more alive. People kind of shake off naps that they may have taken along the way. And some of you look out the window idly and watch the trees go by. One of you kind of takes a look back and you see that third wagon. There's a third one still behind you that's, once again, 50-foot interval and trailing behind the first two. You guys have a moment here to kind of appreciate the time going by.
TC takes out a little perfume bottle and, honestly, not really paying attention to where it ends up on anywhere else, just kind of gives himself
You can tell that the orc is trying very hard not to, like, react, but he gives, like, a...
Honestly, reminded me of what I had, the notes on your particular beverage.
I'm gonna
He sees you gesturing and...
No, thank you.
I'm gonna pull my sort of handkerchief over my nose a little, just sort of, but trying to be polite.
Sure. Just a sort of subtle covering. You mask it by turning toward the window a little bit to keep the air flowing.
I'm gonna see that the orc is a little bit hurt by this human not taking more of his drink, and so silently I'm just gonna kind of hold up my cup and give a little smile.
And he pours for you again. Brunkhollow.
Brunkhollow.
I could, by the way, let anybody know about a very fine perfumist in Piran, if anyone cares to frequent.
Sounds like you're gonna tell us anyway.
Only if you were interested, but yes, honestly, where the Santu River comes to a cleave by the five... Fucking flipping a notebook.
I'm sorry, ignore me.
The Santo River cleaves, you'll find a perfumist there that has been good to me.
In what way?
Well, I suppose a regular customer comes to some repute, and
I understand. Sorry.
nothing untoward.
No,
if
no,
that's what.
no, of course, sir. That was not what I was implying.
All right. Yeah, I'll take out the perfume bottle again. and-
No, that's all right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
See the half-orc kind of watching the bird that has... You're not even sure if it's the same bird. It kind of flew away, and then another one kind of landed on the other side. And he just kind of regards it. Maybe the same one, maybe not. But some of the wildlife out here, this place relatively uncharted for so long, the animals are curious in nature. They don't necessarily see a threat in humanoids coming through, until they feel the threat coming. So the birds kind of come up curious and exploring the cabin. One of them kind of comes in and flies around the top of the cabin for a moment and then finds its way out and disappears again. Another one of those tawny magpies.
The Vanguard, I presume.
How close do you suppose we are?
Well,
We have to venture a guess.
TC will look out try to kind of lean and look out the.
Very difficult to gauge by looking. Right now you guys are headed on a slight kind of upward incline because you'll go up and then there's Brunkhollow Valley, it'll dip down. So right now, difficult to tell. Based simply on how long you've been traveling, you'd guess 2 hours, like 1 to 2 hours out between them.
Can I put my finger out and see if a bird will land on my hand?
You may. Give me an animal handling check.
Oh.
Disney princess
vibes.
18.
18. You sort of lean over and just kind of loosely, not kind of in making any quick movements, put your finger near the window. And a little bit of time goes by, and just when you're thinking about kind of pulling it back into the cabin, flies on the finger, and the first thing it does is it kind of like puts its beak down, and it looks like a spot where maybe some of that liquor spilled onto your finger. It kind of laps it up.
Delightful.
Oh, I like you.
And then when it seems to have finished that, last one.
And what hidden tastes and sundries have you been hiding to bring about such a fantastical little friend?
Maybe it's just the charm of my personality.
I don't know how long it'll be, by the way. A few tidy hours, I suppose. Are you late for a date?
No, sir.
All right.
Just making idle conversation, I suppose.
Idle hands and all that.
I'm gonna be so uncomfortable. I'm just gonna kind of lean back and like look out the window and disengage from this conversation.
Yeah, and there's no middle seats. It's just 2 and 2 on both sides.
Okay.
So you kind of lean away and
Yeah.
focus your attention on
Throw
the
my hat
window.
down a little bit.
Yeah, let it drop it. And once you tuck your hands underneath the poncho,
Yeah.
you kind of turn into a little sort of bundle of
Yeah.
clothes there.
When TC said that, he kind of leans forward close to everyone like,
And like kind of water lapping, like everyone moves back as you move your hands around the cabin.
yeah.
Slowly, you continue to roll along at a slight upward incline. The harnesses are pulling tight against the bodies of these powerful draft horses that haul the wagons behind them. Gusts of wind that seem to originate from on the mountains on high come sweeping through in clusters of 2 or 3. Breezes that hours ago were welcome respite from the heat, but now are compounded by the thinning air to make for a kind of a bracing chill. The trees are alternating dark green and burnt orange, as if in disagreement over whether autumn has begun. And like the tawny magpie by the window, the noise of clopping gets the attention of the occasional forest critter, darting from trunk to trunk. You see an elk, an axebeak, and a yak whose long hair has grown so freely it almost looks like a cow hiding under a carpet. More and more bestial shadows slip through the forest, the place feeling very much alive. And the boy in the lead wagon is leaning past the sill with such wonderment at everything that he's seeing. You're afraid a strong bump, he might lose his balance and go headfirst out the window, forcing the caravan to stop as he's retrieved. Everybody give me perception checks.
All right, Steven, I'm trying your dice.
Me too.
God damn it,
yeah,
Steven.
same.
Steven, god damn it.
Oh no.
That's bad.
17.
6.
Is it investigation or perception?
Perception.
7.
15.
5.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
63.
Perception?
Give me a high five.
I lied. 13.
13. As Kayt has occupied herself alone by the window, sort of disengaging from the conversation from before, your ear is very much right up next to the window, and so you have a good vantage from which to hear any kind of rustling of leaves or things moving throughout the forest. And after some of those animals I mentioned before, the elk, the axebeak, the yak, you hear some snorting, and it sounds like horses. Kind of look up. There's a riderless horse kind of trotting along, a wild horse perhaps here, Brunkhollow Valley. See a couple more horses kind of in the distance, maybe running in a small pack of their own. And then there's one horse kind of beyond that couple horses that are closer to you that you kind of watch grazing there by the side of the forest. And there's a kind of bump on its back, as if someone was perched atop its back, but kind of hunched, very low to the horse, kind of obscuring itself with the horse's mane. Some kind of rider in the woods there. Not moving, not sort of approaching the wagons or the caravan in any way, but almost definitely another person out there somewhere. You're the only one that notices that at this time. Everyone in your wagon kind of just...
Does it strike a feeling of fear in me? Is it like a scary lump?
Are terrified.
without knowing what it is, it's not necessarily fear, but it is immediately you're sort of on guard.
Yeah.
Only because, not that it's unheard of for people to be traveling through here. Obviously, you guys are traveling through here, but you guys are effectively in the middle of nowhere, and that would be unusual to cross paths with someone else.
I'm just gonna look around my caravan real quick, make sure everyone is kind of normal, things are as they are, no one else has noticed anything. DC's bopping.
Give me
He picked his
give me an
nose while he
insight.
was looking.
Okay. 14.
14.
Yeah.
When you first saw that horse that seemed to have a rider or something atop it, you leaned out the window to kind of just get a slightly better look. Because, again, it's not moving with you. So you leaned out and then you kind of followed it as it was staying through the woods there. And when you gave a look back toward the front where your driver is and the lead wagon, you noticed that your driver, whose name is Marion, you were introduced to her when the journey began.
Okay.
You notice that she, like you, was kind of looking off in that direction almost as if she maybe noticed it as well. Like for a second. And then she turns her attention back forward. She doesn't seem to react to it.
Okay.
But you get the sense that she also might have seen it.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
I'm just gonna notice that she noticed, maybe ask her about it later.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to worry
File it
anyone.
away.
Yeah.
Great.
No one needs
You
to
do
worry.
so.
Yeah.
A little more time passes. Continuing to move very, very slowly up kind of a very gentle incline. Suddenly, there's some shouting. And it's coming from the driver's bench on the front wagon. It's coming from Mr. Macklin. It's coming from Baker.
Doc, you hear that?
You hear him shout in some regard that sounds like it's not words. And at first your instinct is that maybe there's an animal in the middle of the road. You hear like a, like he's trying to shoo something or get something to get out of the way. And suddenly there's a disorganized cluster of snorting and stamping of hooves.
God damn it. I should have said something.
All three of the wagons come to an abrupt stop,
Oh my!
sending some of you lurching to the opposite side of the cabin, and you have to brace yourself kind of against the interior walls to keep yourself from falling into the lap of the person opposite you. Some riders on horseback, plus several humanoid figures on foot, emerge quickly from the tree line.
God damn it.
There's some whooping and hollering as people come in from all directions, pulling crossbows from their backs and their hips as they immediately train on the windows, so they're kind of pointing them through the windows of each of the caravan, of each of the wagons. The other migrants and you are trying to get your bearings on what's taking place, but also trying not to be within the line of fire. So people are kind of peeking just outside the window and then ducking back into the interior of the cabin. If you lean back really far, you can avoid kind of having your head visible through the window.
What about trying to smash myself into where people's legs are? Literally, like, get as low as
To get
I can.
low as you can,
Yeah.
you can definitely do that.
Like, pushing people's legs out of the way.
Right?
Get down
TC
the
starts to
ground.
get down, and immediately the half-orc kind of picks his feet up and looks to the two of you.
How many?
I can't tell.
Give me perception checks.
Is there like a window or curtain to where Baker Macfield is sitting?
Not like out the front, like if you're picturing like a limo where there's a window there. You'd have to like kind of lean out the window and shout out to him. The windows are only on the side of these wagons here.
10.
10?
2.
2.
Yeah,
Very difficult to tell without fully exposing yourself to kind of truly lean out the window to get your bearings. You see at least 3 kind of out the side that you're peering through. But as soon as you start to hear some more footsteps and hoofs and it sounds like there might be at least a dozen men and women that are surrounding the caravan here. And there's nothing coincidental about their choice of ambush location. There's some small outcrops that dip in the terrain and allow them to stay mostly out of sight, and their cloaks are gillied with appropriately colored foliage to match the surroundings. Like they have orange and green leaves covering their cloaks, ponchos, pants, so that they were able to obscure themselves as best they could. To his credit as a worthy chaperone, Baker draws a hand crossbow immediately. The second that he sort of senses something, he reaches down and pulls up the hand crossbow. But by the time he's ready to fire, there's already at least three weapons pointed in his direction. So he slowly lowers the weapon. He hangs onto it, but he lowers the crossbow in his hands. And he looks back and forth between the riders. You guys give me perception checks.
Oh my god. It's gonna be 5.
15. There we go.
As some of the chaos was happening, you deigned to kind of sneak a peek out the window
Right, I
up
did.
front. And as you did, you seem to get the impression that Baker recognizes at least one of these people. Like when he brought his crossbow up and then put it back down, there was kind of a... like he knew at least one of these people.
Bastards.
A tiefling man with a long yellow scarf that extends from his neck to almost down past his feet that are in his stirrups. He's on horseback. He trots forward, kind of up to the front wagon and close to the driver's bench where Baker is seated. And he speaks at a volume that, even though he's talking to Baker, you can tell he wants the people in the wagons to hear. He's speaking at a louder volume.
Baker, you choose your routes well, change them up frequently. These people are definitely getting their money's worth. But for those who like to tell secrets, my ears are always open.
Because you rolled well on an earlier check, I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Sure.
18.
18.
Oh, 20.
20.
Oh.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Not a natural 20. As he's speaking, immediately you're kind of trying to hear and get a read on the situation. The driver of your wagon, who you think also spotted someone in the woods, Marion, she pulls her hat down. And she seems to be not looking at any of the people around, any of the horseback riders or any of the tiefling that's in front. And in addition to that, you notice that none of these members of this posse are pointing weapons at her. They're pointing weapons at Baker, they're pointing weapons through the windows, they're pointing weapons at the driver in the cart behind you guys, but not at her. You notice that, you clock that.
As this conversation's also happening with the tiefling, can I, to the young boy that's in our carriage?
Yes, he's sort of ducked down. He's got his hands on the window. He can't help his curiosity. Like, he frequently peeks out and then ducks back down. At this point, the father seems like he did wake up from the commotion. So he kind of, and a couple times the kid like peeks out the window and the dad like pulls him back into the cabin just to make sure that he doesn't keep his face exposed. But yes, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna get his attention.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
hi. Do we have our weapons in the cart or are they up on top?
If it's a small weapon, you probably have it in the cabin. You don't.
You bastard.
Your sword is not.
Damn.
Your claw is. Your crossbow is.
No whip, though.
No whip.
And
Yep.
no short sword.
No short sword. That would be up
How
top.
about my little baby shield?
You would have your shield, yeah.
Great. So, boy, take this. Don't fucking look. And I'm gonna like shove him down onto the floor too.
He
like,
takes
out
the
of his-
shield and he like wears it almost like a hat there, and he's ducked down.
Great.
And a couple times like, and then turtles himself again with the shield on his back.
Do I have my stuff?
Your pick would be with you, not the other weapon. So you have one of them. As this is happening, you hear some noises. Clunk, clunk, clunk. And as the tiefling is trotting forward, he has a dagger in his hand, and he's like hitting the side of the wagon with the butt of his dagger to kind of get people's attention.
Listen up, everyone. I'm going to tell you what I think Baker already knows, which is that we aren't here on a whim. I don't like to make enemies any more than I'm sure you do, and he continues to kind of trot down the line, which is why we're not here to hurt you or take your things. unless your name is Gujek Claiborne.
And at this,
Look at the half-orc.
as the three of you in the second cabin, the name is mentioned, you watch as he recognizes the calling of his name.
I'm gonna lock eyes with him.
He doesn't look at you. He looks down.
I'm gonna grab his. From the floor. I'm gonna lean him down towards me. I think you know exactly what is going on here, and I think you know what you need to do. I have no interest in dying for you today. What are you going to do about it?
As this is happening, just simultaneously, Tiefling continues down the line.
If you're sitting beside a skin and bones looking half-orc, know that I will have his possessions, and I will go through you to get it. But that ain't the plan. Now, I don't want me or mine to get gutted riding by a winner. So who's gonna send everyone home happy by raising their hand and telling me where Mr. Claiborne is at?
Where is the door to my...
There's doors on both sides.
On both sides?
Yep.
If I'm kind of laying down, I'm gonna kick the door straight open.
Sure. As you do, a number of the nearby sort of bandits of the posse turn their weapons in that direction.
Just waiting.
We left the same location as them, so we know there's a half-orc there?
There's only one.
Yeah.
And he's not in your cabin, and I'll say you guys were sort of there for the boarding process. You have a good idea that he's in the second wagon, second of the three wagons. As you guys are sort of there and the door kicking is happening, again, simultaneously, the kid raises the shield so you can see his kind of eyes. He's not like getting up, but he's looking at the two of you.
Seems wrong to turn a man over just like that. I think we can take him. If that hornhead rides by again, I could try and pull him in the wagon while you beat on him.
Boy, keep your head down, and we'll figure this out.
I'm just saying, I think we can take him.
He gets low to the ground again.
And clocking, how many people? There was about a dozen.
Yeah, I'll say at this point, people on horseback have been like slowly riding by in both directions, so you've gotten a good idea. There's probably between 10 and 12 people around here.
How far away is Claiborne from me now? He's like over.
Oh, sorry.
The half-orc?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, very close. The cabin is not big. Closer
Yeah.
than you and I are right now.
And do they see him now?
Well,
No.
so TC kicked the door open,
Yeah.
and the half-orc is clearly trying to stay out of sight, so the door opening didn't make him immediately obvious, but it got their attention.
I'm all about making friends, but I'd love to get into town and have a bath first. Now, what do you say about tossing this fucker out this door right now?
I'm gonna lean over to Claiborne, and I know he might not understand me, but I'm just gonna whisper, like, imploringly, like, come on, man, there's kids.
He can't understand you.
Kind of looks at the three of you with pleading eyes.
I look at Doc. Do you think there's any chance where we take them down?
My brother, are you looking to get your hands dirty?
I mean, always, but at the right times.
We don't do it here.
My highest priority. You stay safe. He stays safe. I don't know if it's worth the risk.
Okay, that's happening as
Okay.
this is happening.
I'm gonna look over.
Yeah, so he sort of, after you talk to
Yeah.
him, again, it doesn't seem like he understood exactly what you said, but he can sense the room turning on him, or
Yeah.
at least the tension building. And as that door was kicked open, as he said as he was riding by, they're apprehensive to get close to the carriages because someone might get stabbed or shot. So you can tell there's a couple people like trying to look into the interior of the cabin, but no one's gotten all the way there yet. The tiefling kind of motions, and two other people sort of slowly approach. So that's what's happening. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna look over to her and
Yep.
be like, this is the first time we've really talked. She'd be like, you any good in a fight?
Fuck this. I'm standing up. And I'm kind of like swinging out the door with hands wide. Hello, friends.
And the tiefling sort of motions to one of the people who had the crossbow to sort of pick it back up.
Something for you to tell us?
Just that I can't imagine anyone here would want to get hurt.
I only have one weapon.
And I'm gonna step down out.
It
Barbara's
kind of
not here.
jostles the cabin. a
She's
little bit.
upstairs.
I imagine his things will be atop this carriage. And I'm like kind of sidling away from the door.
Sure.
Sideways
In which
to-
direction?
To
Like,
the back.
to
of
the back here?
Yeah.
The
I mean, they're
third
all
wagon.
around us.
Yeah,
right?
they're surrounding the three
Yeah.
wagons. Yeah.
I'll kind of.
Like, maybe they'll only take his things and they won't hurt him.
Peeking out, do I recognize the tiefling?
No.
Okay. And how many people are training arrows or whatever on Baker at the moment?
I mean, originally it was like 3, but now the tiefling has walked away, so maybe two people sort of. And again, they're not like in his face, but you know, keeping weapons at the ready in general in his direction.
Okay.
Tiefling takes a couple more trotting steps forward.
Mr. Claiborne, are you in there?
He doesn't speak common, as you may well know.
Yes, he fucking does. Mr. Claiborne!
Fucking.
Mr. Claiborne, I don't think you want anyone else to get hurt, so why don't you come out before I drag you out?
Gets a little closer.
Step away from the carriage, sir.
I only worry about my items that I may get to the town in one piece.
You can have your items. I ain't looking for your knickknacks. Step away, sir.
I have the door. The back of the. He's talking about step away from the back of the carriage.
Or from like the carriage as a whole. He just doesn't want you close as he gets closer. TC sticks a couple more steps away.
They've already ruined the element of surprise with that fucker going out.
Well, I'm a bit annoyed that this half-orc was lying.
Claiborne,
Solution.
come on, man.
Dude,
That's good.
He's not Claiborne.
yeah, okay, maybe he's, yeah, now.
Wait, can I figure out if he's in fact not the guy?
Give me an insight.
Oh, boy.
No small feat. You don't
Someone's
know this
not
person, so
telling
this
the
is
truth.
That ain't gonna do it.
It's a 6.
6. The only sense you get from him is genuine fear. He no act there. He's sort of quaking. All.
Can I?
He reacted to their name earlier.
Yeah, he
Yes?
can recognize his own name.
Okay.
Yeah, he seemed to
When,
recognize.
when somebody shouted that
that's
out,
his
he
name.
was like,
Yeah,
"Whoa."
yeah, he
Okay.
seemed to be able to recognize his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Al, got a crowbar in my bag.
I can use that. I need something.
Oh, I was thinking I could use it.
I
You
got
want it?
I got nothing.
Oh, Elliot.
Do you have anything?
Yes, I've got a crowbar in my bag. That's all I've got. That's what I said.
All right. Are we doing this?
Do they mean you harm?
That'd be a good way to make an introduction in Brunkhollow.
Good.
Do they mean you harm?
Day.
Fuck me.
Mr. Helpful,
Yeah.
how many other people are in your wagon?
In the wagon?
The one you just left from.
Including your supposed friend?
Yes, not including you, how many more people were in that
No,
wagon?
excuse me, not including me in the rear wagon specifically.
Mr. Helpful, I'm thinking about renaming you because you're being entirely unhelpful. How many other people are seated in that wagon?
The damn thing only seats 4.
Are you telling me there's 3 other people in that wagon?
Okay, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
really frustrated with the way that he is handling the situation, and so I'm gonna step out of the wagon
Yeah.
very slowly and calmly, hiding my arms under my little poncho, and look this. He's still on the horse, right?
Yeah, he's still on
Okay, I'm
horseback.
gonna look up at him.
Mhm.
Just be like, "Sir, can you find what you are looking for without stepping foot in our cabin or hurting anyone here, like you said?"
I believe what I'm looking for is in that cabin, as well as atop it.
How about I find it for you?
How about you step away and I find it myself?
Listen, I'm not too fond of men who ride up on horseback, ganging up on a group of random civilians with a whole bunch of people, especially when there are kids here, all right, who haven't done nothing wrong. So how about you tell me what you're looking for? I can find it for you, and we can all go home nice and happy.
Make an intimidation check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty.
Oh,
Nice.
It seems Mr. Claiborne has found himself some loyal friends on the journey to Brunkhollow. All right, miss, we'll do it your way. Why don't you climb up on that roof? Bring those bags down.
I'll help, and I'll come kind of towards her as though to like give her a
Okay, great. I will take the lift up, I guess.
There's a lot of like posturing as people kind of look around.
All right. Go ahead.
Are you...
place your foot right here.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna step up on the foot, maybe bump into his head a little bit while I do it.
Easy enough to climb. There's even kind of a, after he lifts you, there's another like foot, because it's meant to be accessible on the roof.
All right, and I'm gonna keep my eye, looking up, looking down the whole time. Is there a specific bag I'm looking for, or you just want to go through everything?
Why don't you start at the top and we'll go all the way to the bottom?
Oh God, this is gonna take a while.
It was your suggestion, miss.
Yes, and I'm happy to keep everybody safe. All right, gonna climb up.
I say to the boy, you stay down. And I look at the father. When we step out, get the door closed.
All right.
On 3. Is it feasible to
Why?
get to my greatsword on the roof?
Yeah, if you like, if you open the door and then pull yourself up, I mean the roof's right there. It's not far, and you know where your belongings are. on
And
the
there's
roof.
3 people on the baker.
There's like 3 people in. There's 2 people kind of in that front area, sort of loosely training their weapons on Baker. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try and down one of them. Ready?
Do I go for my sword first or do I join you?
I leave that up to you, brother.
I'm going for my sword.
All right.
That conversation happening. Okay, as that's happening, this is simultaneous. So you've gotten up to the top. There's ropes and straps kind of keeping the luggage on top there.
Mine'll have a familiar scent, so stay away from that one.
I can smell it. Okay, and I'm gonna just start untying. Yep, pretty efficiently. Not really worried about
Sure.
this stuff, really.
Yep.
I just want to keep everyone safe. And I'm gonna start tossing stuff down.
Great.
Just hauling it.
The tiefling kind of motions, and a couple of his people come forward and sort of catch the boxes as they come down. They set them down. They continue to catch them. They're not checking them as you're throwing them. They're kind of waiting for you to unload everything. So we'll say you get 3 boxes, 4 boxes.
I want to kick the door open, boom, and climb up to the top and say, to anyone who wants to uphold any sense of justice here, raise your weapons.
Oh my god.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yo, let's go. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
Wow.
We're good.
20 to 25.
Me.
Did you bonk?
I bonked.
Oh, don't
I did bonk a camera. I think it's okay.
We're good.
All right, we're good.
You and
But
Steven.
I did bonk.
Just bonk masters.
I bonked.
Bonk
I got a 20.
I also got a 20.
I also got a 20.
Nice.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh, dirty 20?
Those are all dirty 20s.
All dirty
No, mine
20.
was a natural 20.
Oh, mine's dirty. Mine's dirty.
All right, we'll let the natural one be the tiebreaker.
Do you have anything to add to it?
No, man. I rolled like shit.
Who's highest dex?
I have,
Plus 4.
oh yeah, you, my fault.
But we're
Okay,
gonna
so-
have Morna
oh,
first.
sorry.
The natural 20 will be the tiebreaker, so we'll have
Got
Morna
it.
first.
Okay,
Morna,
Morna.
PC.
PC, and then Illien.
Yep.
Fuck.
I will get.
What is going on there?
Erica, what'd you get?
19.
Nice.
Damn. This will be for both of us here.
Cool.
And I'm coming in hot with a fucking 8.
Oh, Illien. I don't know you, and yet
the
you
hell's
frustrate me.
I'm sorry.
Righteous dumbass.
Okay.
Loopy
got?
cunt, is that what you said?
15 for. We'll give him the name.
Who's
Horton
the-
is his name. The tiefling.
Does he hear a who? Sorry.
15 is between Kayt and Doxley, right?
Yeah.
And then a 10 we'll call those riders, because there's a few people on horseback.
Okay.
And then 4 is foot soldiers, we'll call them.
So there's still people on horses.
Yeah, besides the tiefling, there was like 2 or 3 other people on horses, and then a bunch of people on foot.
Oh, the tiefling's also on a horse.
Yes, he was riding along the...
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you run that down for me?
Yeah, we got Morna, TC, Illien, Kayt, Horton, Riders, Doxley, and the foot soldiers.
Okay, we got a bunch of people to place on the map, but please turn your monitors on for me.
Maybe. First combat.
First combat.
First combat. Can
I
you
hope this isn't a mistake.
speak this here for all to see?
Yes, yes, that's perfect.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh, so yeah, I got you.
There you go.
Boom.
Let's see what people can do.
Yeah.
I want to see some.
Go
So,
Via!
we find ourselves here in the sort of road through the woods here. Here's your caravan, each wagon there. I'm going to place you guys first. So, first of all, there's only a few of you currently outside the wagon, which includes Illien
Yep.
climbing up the side of this wagon here.
Go.
You know, I don't know if it was the right choice, but it feels right. It feels
I'm ready.
We have TC.
Violence.
Oh, no, that's not TC. There we go. TC not only got out, but he had you walk away a little bit from the wagon, so you're a little like, no, sorry, second. Second wagon. Yep.
Do you have any of your shit?
Here.
I have my hand crossbow.
Yeah, his crossbow is small enough to
Great.
have on his person. This
Good with
is
that
Kayt is atop the second wagon with some luggage. You would know, so your belongings are there, and you would obviously recognize your bag. So if you needed to get anything from that, you have that option. We have Morna is still inside the wagon, and Doxley is also still inside the wagon. So we have got Tiefling on horseback. We're going to need to do a bunch of people here. So Tiefling on horseback was here with horse. Let's make that horse not tiny.
Oh, you got a little horse?
pony boy.
Oh, you got a little horse?
Little Sebastian into battle.
Little Sebastian. We can take little Sebastian. Yeah.
There is at least, let's do 2 other riders. We'll have one behind here.
We don't even know what's going on in the third caravan.
Yep. And third horse. Let's get there on the normal side.
They better walk out of there with dynamite.
yeah, all right.
So even though we'll go in initiative order, what are people doing as this sort of chaos unfolds, like without using movement and stuff? For the people especially that are inside the caravan still, what is your guys' first instinct here?
I've got Bill out, and I'm gonna say, don't laugh at me.
Bill and Barbara.
I'm gonna say to Claiborne, if you got fucking weapons, then you better get them fucking ready.
Give me a perception check.
A natural 1.
Natural 1.
Nice.
First of the campaign.
He gives no indication at all that he heard what you said or necessarily has weapons either.
Man is an enigma.
Cool. And then I'm gonna attempt to move out. I mean, I go first, right? But we're waiting
Yes,
to
just
see
give me
other
1
people's
second. I'm
stuff?
just putting it.
Of course.
So that was Tiefling and 2 others. Okay, and then there's a bunch of foot soldiers. I will zoom in to show you more later. 2.
I'm gonna be looking for my whip for the record. Since I'm
Okay.
on top, I'm gonna be searching through my bag and I'm gonna get my weapon if there's time.
6. There was 1 person here catching the bag.
You're looking for my weapon as well.
Barbara? I feel like they're axes.
Okay, we've got everyone on the board here. So just to run from kind of front to back, there was a rider in the back that was sort of keeping an eye on any escape routes.
Okay.
A couple of people coming down from the hill up here that are like foot soldiers. We've got, is that a foot soldier there? Yeah, 1 foot soldier there, sort of hiding. We've got just sort of in the shade. TC's over here, another foot soldier. This is the tiefling on horseback here. There's Kayt up top, another foot soldier. Illien up top, another foot soldier, and then a rider in the front. So that's what we've got. Who is first in the initiative order?
That would be Morna.
Okay, so we're looking at second wagon, and you're popping out of the wagon there?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
gonna rage.
Excellent.
Yes, you
Goodness.
are.
I rolled a dirty 20 on my rage.
Excellent.
And I am going to scream at Kayt, throw me my weapon! And I'm gonna charge out with Bill, which is a war pick, and I'm gonna go straight towards the tiefling on horseback and make a hammer attack.
Might have to, let's see. What is your 30 movement speed?
It is. Oh yeah, it's 30. Is he too far?
So if you would like to attempt to vault over the driver's bench to the other side, because your door was on this side, so you need to like pull yourself up and over and hop and then attack if you want to.
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
You got it. You got it.
Got it. That is a 16.
16, lightning quick. Morna puts one foot on the driver's bench, and Kayt, who's up top, you feel the carriage kind of just shift back and forth, and she pushes off from it and leaps in the air toward the tiefling over here, lands, attacks with the pickaxe. Go ahead.
Okay. That's a plus 21.
That will hit. Roll for damage.
21.
And
right.
I'm going to roll a D8.
Let's find out.
Oh wait, but I have advantage too, right? Because I'm in a rage.
Are you reckless attacking? You don't
As
get
well.
Great. Reckless attack is with advantage. Yep.
Strong
Love
right
it.
at the gate. Take him down.
That's not as high.
Okay, still
so
hits.
Great.
And you get the bonus. The rage gives you bonus damage, not the advantage.
Right. That's a 4 plus 3 is 7 plus, and then sorry, what's my rage? Gives me plus 2.
Let's do. Yep.
So 7 plus 2 is 9. So
9.
9. I'm gonna do piercing damage.
Great piercing damage. So you swing, you
So I,
sort of
like-
shift the pickaxe in your hand and hit with the sort of barbed end there. Goes right into his leg, and he kind of kicks out at you to push you back away. Now you right now don't have your second weapon, but you can punch with your other. Oh no, you rage, so you can't do it this
rage.
turn. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
even if she's not able to toss your weapon, you can still use the second attack with your empty hand
Oh, great. Then I will
on future turns.
on future turn.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, I will do that on future turn.
Great. Okay.
And that is my turn because I'm all done with my movement.
And that was 9 damage.
9 piercing.
That one's not showing up. I know. The notes thing is a work in progress. Okay, who's next?
Next up is TC.
All right, TC.
Put your money where your mouth.
Boy, you've got a mouth on you. And I turn. And that's the tiefling that's been doing all the talking, yes?
Yes, the one on the horse there. Yep.
And she is within 5 feet of him.
Yes, she is.
Sure am.
Yep.
And I
Nice,
shoot off a
let's
hand
go.
crossbow at him.
Roll to attack.
Oh boy, okay. I will do that.
I'm sweating.
8 to hit.
That will miss.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
The sort of jittering hands there, fires off the bolt, and immediately starts to reload.
I'm gonna roll my
I
eyes.
run. Where? Oh God! This tree to the south. How far is that away from me?
It's a little bit far. 35 feet.
I mean, I see 2 guys, kind of the southwesterly, southeasterly direction.
This way?
Oh no, there's
There's
the
someone
closest.
there.
There's
There's
someone
someone
there.
there. There's someone here.
Can I
There's
run
someone
to basically to the opposite side of the tree from that guy who's south of me?
Guy who's south of you. So you want to go to here?
Yeah,
but
30 feet, but be on the opposite side of the tree.
Sure, you are. Yep.
Um,
So now you are kind of he can't see you currently through the
Yeah.
tree there. Yeah.
Can I hide from some people and not others?
Yes, but not if they're like part of the same. They would just shout
Okay.
to each other. Like if you
Okay.
tried to, they'd be, he's behind the tree. Like this is not a spot where you can
All
hide there.
right. In which case, I will take out a handful of caltrops,
Okay.
and I will try to throw them to put them down. I can't throw them, can I? I have to kind of put them down right where next to myself.
I'll say you can toss them a little bit. But if you toss them really far, they're gonna get too scattered.
spread?
Yeah, they won't
Okay.
be useful.
This
This is fast hands. Yeah, so
fast
using
hands.
using an object with fast hands.
I'm gonna put caltrops down kind of east of me, so that if there's like kind of a main path there along the side, I want the caltrops to be kind of right around where you're pointing.
Can I not do that? Oh god. Oh god.
Oh boy.
We've gone into.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't have tried to do that. Note. What have I done? I might have to put this back in.
You broke it.
I did.
Oh.
I was too
That
fast.
didn't take long. Yes.
Good night, everyone.
We're gonna reboot that. So spreading caltrops there by the tree.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that if
If
somebody
he
came
comes
around,
around,
the side
he'll sort of
that
walk
side
through
the
them.
tree, he would-
You may do so. Excellent. Okay, who's next in the initiative order?
Illien.
I.
All right, Illien. So we're gonna do a little theater of the mind while this reboots.
Yep.
But so you've grabbed the sword from the luggage. You had like a backpack, and it was fitted between both straps. So you sort of pull it out.
Okay.
And there was a few people close to you. Also, you're within range of the tiefling.
Okay. Do I see Doc's javelins?
Yeah, you know where they are. There isn't nearly as much luggage atop your guys' wagon as there was atop the half-orcs.
How many could I pick up and toss in her direction?
It's in a quiver. You can pick up the whole quiver.
All right, I'll pick up the quiver. Doc, catch. Send that out. How many people around were? There was like 3 people that could possibly hit Doc around there.
Yeah, there was like a rider in the front and 2 foot soldiers. Because Doxley is still inside the cabin, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would have to. She has partial cover inside the cabin currently, but.
I trust you. So I'm going to try to run and jump over to the tiefling.
Okay. Go ahead.
I actually want to just try to grapple it.
Okay. You may attempt to do so. Give me a contested athletics check. 19.
That's a now 1.
So you get close and you try to go for a foot, and he slips the foot out of the stirrup and just kicks you across the face there. That was a natural one. Take 1 bludgeoning as he sort of gives you a kickback from you trying to
First
grab
thing
him.
I do, man. Okay.
Doc
okay.
sees that and out the cabin. Illien, what are you doing? Fucking hit him!
I have it under control.
Oh my god.
Okay,
It's like
that's
how
pretty
to
much my
trick a
turn.
dragon
I mean, you
out here.
probably still have a little movement left if you want to leave or if you want to stick close.
I just want to flavor say, the Tyruns don't take very kindly to being treated this way.
Shut up!
That's it.
Okay, who's next?
Kayt.
All right, Kate, you're atop the wagon. You can find your whip quickly if you want to
Yes.
grab that. So you currently have the claw and the whip
Yeah.
on your person.
And there's a guy kind of close to me.
There was a few people nearby because that's where you were tossing off the luggage. There's
Yeah.
like 2 foot soldiers on either side, and then the tiefling is also not far from where you are.
Oh, I guess let's go for the leader, I guess.
Okay.
Can I just like slash my whip out?
You would need. He's not within the whip has a 10-foot reach, so you need to get off the top of the wagon.
Okay.
But you could.
Yeah,
If you hop down.
I got distance.
Great.
I'm gonna hop down. And I'm gonna slash out at him, yeah.
And are you using just an attack or one of the special actions?
How about I use a special thing?
Okay.
Can I use agile parry?
No, that's if you make an attack with your fist weapon,
Oh,
you get
okay.
that
Okay,
automatically. The whip can either you can just make an attack, or you can attempt to pull a target. Like you could try and
Yeah.
yank him off his horse.
Yeah, I'm gonna yank him.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Fuck yeah, that bitch.
so he's gonna make a attempt against your ability save DC, which I think is on one of your key point cards.
Help.
On the second page of your abilities has your key stuff on it.
Yes.
He
Oh,
saved
8 plus your
proficiency, which is 2
wisdom.
plus wisdom,
Right.
which is
Oh, plus 4.
so 2 plus 4 plus 10.
14.
So 14 is the thing he needs to do. Okay.
2 plus 4 plus 10, right?
Oh, 8.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's still getting
Yeah,
the
okay.
message. No, we're not. Excellent. Okay.
Yay!
Let's bring this
We
guy
back?
back. I think it was because I tried to do that. It's okay. The damage notes thing.
I got you seen
Okay.
here, baby.
There we go. We're back. Here we go. So let's put
Nice
people in their
theater of
spots.
the
So
mind.
Illien had hopped
Yeah.
down here and attempted to.
We don't have to talk about it.
And now
You little.
Hey, I biffed as
Avatar.
well, man.
Kate has leapt down as well, and you're 10 feet away, and you're gonna try and pull him off the horse. So
And I'm
he's gonna make
succeed.
a check here.
Let's go.
That's a natural 20. So
Oh,
the whip connects with his foot, and it pulls him a little bit, but he just digs into the stirrup that keeps him from toppling over, and it's really just the fact that he's harnessed into the horse that keeps him from getting pulled off. And then the whip unfurls.
bummer.
Anything else?
I guess I'm gonna go hop back up onto the top of the wagon.
Okay. Get back to the top of the wagon. Okay. All right.
After Kayt, it's a Horton.
Horton. Okay, so he's on horseback here, and he is going to ride a little bit. Whoever's next can make an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Me,
Oh,
yeah.
And attacking
Wait,
him, not
I
the
can't,
horse.
I'm gonna.
I don't know, are
hit
you
him.
next to him?
You were next
What
to
about
him.
the
Okay, cool.
riders?
What about them?
I'm gonna actually go for his horse. Because if I get the horse,
You can go for the horse.
I'm gonna do that.
13 to hit?
13 will not hit. You were attacking him, right? Not the horse?
Yeah.
That won't hit.
Mine is 18.
18 will hit the horse. Yep, that will definitely hit the horse.
No.
Bad die.
Yep. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Horsey.
Okay, so that is sorry.
Save the innocent, kill the horses, I guess, around here. Damn.
I'm not trying to kill the horse. I am trying to
Horses
maim
die
it,
easy.
and then it dies.
I'm trying to
That's
break
plus,
one of its legs.
so that's 4, and then
Illien's
do I
fault.
still get +2?
Yep.
So then that's 5.
And actually,
Wait.
yep,
No, 4 plus
6.
6. That's 6.
6 damage on the horse. Great.
Yeah.
As he starts to ride away, you stick the barb in and pull it back out, and there's immediately kind of blood trickling out onto the grass there, and the horse kind of goes into a little limp. Okay, he's gonna ride kind of back a little bit. And as he does, he's then gonna pull the horse back around, and he's going to fire with his crossbow here. And he's gonna fire at Illien.
Bring it on.
There.
Bring it on, brother.
14 to hit.
Miss.
And he's gonna reload, but he can't fire twice with the crossbow in this turn. So he's gonna reach into his pocket there, and he seems to have like a whistle in his hand. And he doesn't blow it, but he just like has it handy. Seems like he kind of has it in case of an emergency or something. So he puts the whistle kind of up by his collar and then starts to reload the crossbow. Who's next?
The riders.
Okay, riders. A couple riders
Forgive me
here.
that I don't want to fight horses as well.
I didn't want to fight anyone.
And I'm gonna dash there.
There are 2.
Okay, that horse is gonna run through your caltrops there.
Oh shit!
Um,
It's got to be a DC 15.
Oh, snap.
What kind of save?
Dexterity.
Dexterity, 12. That's gonna fail.
It,
So the horse and then
Comes to a abrupt stop.
Aw, poor
takes
horse.
the damage from the caltrops, comes to a full stop.
Yep, full 1 piercing damage. Taking the damage reduces its walking speed by 10, and yeah,
Great, and it can't get that back, I think, until it heals
Yeah.
any points. Great.
it loses 10 feet.
The
of
horse
movement
stops
until it
there,
hits.
but the rider, noticing that the horse was injured, sort of looks right, looks left, sees TC there, fires.
Jesus.
Okay. Natural 20.
Damn.
Am I about to get massive damage
Oh my
knocked out right fucking now?
Oh my god,
I feel like that
imagine
tracks for you.
the first
But your
hit.
stats are so good.
Quiet you.
But he's covered in
14
that
damage.
could happen.
Is that half?
That's fucking close.
Oh,
It's not half,
It's
though?
not half.
Okay, so no massive damage rules, but
Oh, imagine.
fires off, and you had just kind of finished scattering the caltrop, so you're not able to be in a defensive position. You just take the brunt of the bolt there.
Damn.
Fucking idea was this?
Okay, the other riders up
Nice
front.
weather we're having here.
Oh my god.
Maneuver between here.
Holy shit, I can't
This
do
person's
the
gonna
math
sort of
so
interpose
hard.
themselves between the tiefling and the rest of the party so that you guys can't get a kind of good angle on him. And this person is also going to fire at Illien there.
Yeah, sure thing. Bring it on.
17 to hit.
AC is 17.
17.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and crappy damage roll. 4 piercing damage.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, that's the riders.
All right, next up is Doxley.
All right, Doxley.
All right, so
You're in the lead carriage here.
am I would still be in like range distance from the Horton, right?
Yeah, so Horton is right here.
Yeah.
And your side of the cabin is here, but you could scoot across the cabin to get out on the other side if you want to.
Got it.
There's also,
Yeah,
I
I
guess
think
I can
I'm
put
gonna-
it here because he's outside.
There's our boy.
Yeah.
Nice. Good old Baker.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the carriage and head west so I can get this kid out of, firing.
Like out this side?
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Crawl
So I'm gonna-
across. We'll say that takes 15 feet of movement because you have to kind of crawl across the cabin there.
Got it. Okay. Great. And I'm gonna stay there for a second here. I'm gonna pick up my javelins, which I got.
Yep.
I'm gonna slide one out of the quiver.
Yeah, Illien, when he grabbed them, he shouted to you, and then he like scoop tossed them underneath,
Sick.
so you catch them in the cabin.
All right. Gonna throw one javelin right at Horton there.
Okay.
And
You got it, you got it.
there we go. 19 to hit.
Hit.
So 1d6 plus 4. 7 piercing damage.
7, excellent.
How's this dude looking?
I mean, that was a nice strike, but he's only taken a couple licks. I mean, he's got some blood kind of coming out his leg. You threw that javelin, and it kind of stuck, it didn't get fully stuck, but it grazed his back there. Now he's sort of bleeding down his back, and it's going onto the fur of the horse behind him. You can see it there.
Great, action surge. I'm gonna throw another one.
Action surge, babe.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Natural 20.
No way.
Yes. Okay. 4 times 2 is 8, plus another 4, 12 piercing.
12 piercing damage.
How's he looking now?
Not great.
Okay.
The second one, after the first one, he gets grazed on the back and he turns to look at the injury, and in that time, he thinks for a moment that it's impossible for you to be so quick to like rattle off another attack. And when he's looking back, already the javelin is like, and he pulls it free and sort of throws it to the side there. Oh, fuck! What else?
And then, let's see. I'm gonna use a, hold on, sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna have another javelin in my hand and looking at him. I'm not looking to spill blood on my way to Brunkhollow on the first fucking day. Back the fuck off.
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay. Oh, wait, do I have hold on.
You have.
Look at that note covering going on over
Wow.
Would this count as verbally manipulating another creature?
Would indeed.
Ah! Okay, great, perfect. I'm gonna make an intimidation
Someone
check.
doing magic?
And
I'm gonna re-roll it.
Are we in the cusp?
right.
It's a 6.
6 with the commotion going on. I mean, your words are cutting, but he might not have heard all of it. Like, he's reeling from the force of the javelin. Other people are shouting. There's a lot of, ah, he's behind, get the cabin! Like, just shouting going in all directions, and he might just not be picking up on what you're saying.
Great. Ken, is it too late to use trip attack?
What is the language?
Okay, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to knock the target down.
I'm gonna say you'd use the intimidation.
Okay.
If you had used it on, yeah, it has to be after the attack hits, like
Great.
right after the attack.
And remind me, he has a crossbow, right?
Yeah.
Great.
He looks like he has like a blade on his belt too, like a sword, a small sword.
Okay, great. Fuck. And I'm gonna put the javelin away and use the rest of my movement to try to get into melee range of this guy.
Okay, you can. You
Okay.
can. Yep.
Nice.
Great.
So you put the javelin away.
I guess I'm have it out.
Okay.
I'm just not throwing it.
Sure.
And that's my turn.
You go from here to here.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
Now it's foot soldiers.
Okay, foot soldiers.
That was crazy.
A whole bunch of foot soldiers come closing in here. Not on a horseback. This one is going to attempt to hop onto the cabin from here
Kick him in the head.
and fail.
Oh.
That's
right.
This one gets knocked prone here from just kind of
Bite.
failing their attempt there. You watch them like leap and clang onto the top, and then fall off the backside.
And I giggle.
You giggle. This one goes up to Morna. This one's gonna come. He's gonna use his dash to get up to TC there, so he can't attack. Who else we got? Yeah, we got more here. This one's gonna dash as well. He couldn't see TC, so he's gonna
Does
dash.
anyone go through the caltrops again?
The horse is like on the caltrops right now. It only makes a 5x5 square, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So until that horse moves, something else probably isn't gonna land in those.
All it did was get me a fucking magnet. Ha! Oh!
Stevie. And then this one's gonna come around here and attack TC.
Oh my god.
Oh
Okay,
my god,
so-
Anthony!
So guys,
Hey, bye.
Only a couple of them are making attacks because most of them had to dash. Yeah, this one's gonna
Cool.
dash another 20 feet. Yeah. So Illien's taking 1 attack, Morna's taking 1 attack, and TC's taking 1 attack.
I love
so
it.
we'll start with Illien. We'll go around.
Yeah.
here. 15 to hit.
Does
That
not.
will not hit. You aren't even turned around, but you're in kind of a crouched position, and you feel kind of a mace or some kind of blunt object clang, and you slowly like turn over your shoulder, but your heavy armor protects you from the blow.
Huge.
1 against Morna, and this is with advantage. Could you use reckless attack? 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Just a sword you. You take 7 slashing damage or piercing damage.
I am.
You are resistant. Yes,
to
you
that.
are. So 7 halved, rounded down, 3 piercing damage. Great, and then TC as well here behind the tree. You're now surrounded by 2 people, 2 foot soldiers, and someone on horseback.
Most excellent.
Man, it's a little dark over here. Make it a little more light. There we go.
Shady.
There
The
you
clouds
are.
parted.
Yeah. TC's like hiding, and then the sun just
Oh! Little magpie.
Last
Okay.
look at daylight.
Quiet.
14 to hit.
That will miss.
14 will miss.
Ah.
All right.
I was
So
gonna say.
you're like crouching by the tree, and you hear, and you turn around just in time to duck out of the way of a blade on the opposite side. Okay, does that take us to the end of the round?
If that's the last of the foot soldiers, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put all like civilians at the end of the round if anyone wishes to act. The only people that are going to act is Baker is going to. He had lowered his crossbow and he sees all the action happening and he.
Yeah!
Excellent.
Baker.
Baker.
My
Now,
hero.
where the hell is Miriam? Or
15 will hit. That's gonna hit.
I feel like she's gonna shoot us.
Traitorous. Nice.
Ain't nobody clocked that with you.
No, one other person had hit.
No. Sorry, I was talking about something else.
He does 5 piercing damage there.
Nice.
Not bad. And 3 with that crossbow bow. Ah, fuck, Baker, you fucking asshole! And he fucking. They seem to have not a friendly repartee, but like there's some
Well, no.
history here. Yeah, there's some like
Yeah.
they definitely know each other for sure.
There's only so many people in this.
Yeah, that isn't a ton. And then the only other civilian that's going to do something is the kid kind of gets up with the shield and he leans out the window and he takes a dagger out and he's going to throw the dagger.
Come on, kid.
Does he hit something?
He's throwing it at the.
Let's go, kid. Oh, he's gonna fucking.
If he's
kill this
good,
guy.
we should take him with us.
That is a natural 1.
Oh, little guy.
See ya.
It hits Doxley.
Yeah.
She is low to the ground, so he doesn't hit Doxley, but he throws the dagger, and you hear kind of a shit, and he gets low to the ground again. Okay, that's the end of the round.
All right, top of the lineup with Morna.
Okay.
Okay, I have this person right in front of me.
Let me adjust the weather here. So we can... Let's see if
Please
we get
adjust the weather.
Let's get a very up.
Make
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's an eclipse!
Make it a different day, will you?
All right, Morna's right there. You have one person next to you, and then a couple more over near Illien there.
Okay, I'm gonna still like pretty freaked out, you know. In my rage, I'm gonna be like, my weapon!
Does
To
that
Kayt.
does that somehow like allow me to find it? Like what's going on here?
The weapon is not in a bag because it's big enough that it.
Oh,
can't.
okay.
So you need to grab it and throw it to her, but.
But I see it, right? It's like
Yeah,
obvious.
it's there.
Okay, great. I'm gonna.
Great.
Okay, great.
You can toss it on your turn as,
Okay.
as like a attempt there.
Can't do it now.
So I'm just
Sorry.
gonna axe the guy or pick him.
The closest person
Or
here.
pick him, yeah, the
Great.
closest guy.
Okay. Is this reckless?
It is reckless.
Let's
go.
So that's 15.
That will hit.
Okay,
Nice.
But
great.
you can roll with advantage though to see
Oh
if you
my
get
god,
the...
you're totally
Yeah, hit that
right.
cut, girl.
That it's still a 15.
Okay, that will hit.
Okay, and then I'm going to do my unarmed since I can.
Do the damage for that one first,
Oh, right,
and then you
right,
can do the
right.
unarmed
Oh my
one.
gosh, yes, so true.
Get him first.
Oh, that's 8 plus 3 is 11
Great.
plus 2 is 13.
13. You don't even need the unarmed strike. You hit with the pick, and it goes right between the sort of lower part of the neck. And that person just
Oh, we
collapses
just fucking
there.
killed a guy.
And I'm just gonna go. And I'm gonna go to run to the person closest to me on Illien,
Okay,
right?
yep.
And I'm gonna punch him right in the
Great.
fucking back of the
You
head.
can make an unarmed strike as well.
And is that with advantage as well?
Yeah, it is. It's a
Okay.
strength-based check.
Ooh, okay. So that's that is 14 plus 4 is 18.
18 will hit. Yep.
Nice.
And I'm gonna do it's just plus 3 bludgeoning. It says no
Great.
rolling.
3, and then you do get the bonus from raging.
Oh, so then it's a 5.
Great.
Bludgeoning
5
right in the back of the head.
Great. A mighty punch at the back of the head. The one that Illien's sort of facing off against. You watch a fist just come out of the side, smash into the side of their head there. Okay. Anything else?
Well done.
No, I'm gonna stay right there next to this douchebag.
Okay.
All right, TC.
TC is up.
Get your ass.
You're in this kind of shady abyss here.
He's in there!
Oh shit!
Disengage, and I'm running straight to. Would you call that stuff to the west of me climbable?
Yeah.
Straight up using my second story work to make quick work of any climbing.
Okay, great.
And 30 feet straight up.
So this was 30 from this was
Yeah.
15 and then another 15. Great.
And then if I for action dash, does another 30 get me any kind of cover?
Sure, you can get up into the trees here.
Oh my god.
You watch
Scale
TC
that
disappear into the.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the
Bye
trees
forever.
there. There's you.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Some people
I can
might have
smell
some
them
side of
still.
me. I might be like cover or like.
Yeah, you have
partial
definitely
cover.
have partial cover. I mean, these people that you were right next to, you definitely saw you go up
Yeah.
there.
No,
but-
I know. I'm just in terms of
Yep.
cover.
Yep, you have cover behind this tree.
That's action, bonus action for me.
Okay.
And movement.
All right.
Hi, hero.
If you motherfuckers want to get in the middle of 3,
Illien.
take 14.
All right,
damage at
Illien.
once.
Couple people around you.
I want to
Yeah.
try to yell out and intimidate and say, "This is your last chance. Put down your weapons and we can maybe still talk about this."
Okay, give me an intimidation check. Horton can't hear this. You're yelling like three people, but you can sort of shout it to the people around you.
You're not a who.
Never mind, I don't want to do that. It was just for Horton. Okay,
Hey, you
I'm
over
gonna
there.
then in that case
We don't like
yell to Doc and say, "Hey Doc, try to keep him alive so we can tell the tale of the Tyruns, eh?" And I'm gonna use the Commander's Strike,
Okay.
so you can take a reaction to use another attack,
Okay.
and I add damage on top of that too.
If she hits,
If you, oh yeah.
so go ahead and
Okay,
roll to
yeah,
hit
yeah.
first. So a melee
she
attack with
attacks
the javelin.
right
Oh, I do it right
Yeah,
now?
I can.
She can
Oh,
use.
shit.
You have to use your reaction. So as long as you're okay with that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So as your reaction, he can order you to strike.
So
basically.
you roll for additional damage?
If you hit,
Yes,
yeah,
if
I
you-
add the
Got it.
superiority dice to the
I'm
damage.
going to do an unarmed strike then. Non-lethal unarmed strike.
Okay.
Because this is against Horton.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, here I go. I'm hitting something not on my turn. 14 to hit.
14 will miss.
Fuck! He's on a horse!
He's on a horse.
Tries to jump up and smack him, but he leans
tie
in the
his
saddle on the
shoelaces
opposite side.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay.
Thanks anyway.
Yeah, nice try.
Who's up?
Me?
All right, Kate.
Okay, I have plenty distance. I can move all the way over to Horton, right?
What is your move speed?
It's something crazy.
45?
45. Not quite. You could move 45 and then use your whip.
Whip, yeah.
Wouldn't be within melee, but you can
Okay,
move
yeah.
45. and
I'm
use your
gonna
whip.
move 45 and use my whip.
She moves 45
try
feet.
As she goes by, I'm gonna yell, "My
Sorry.
He's already moved, but
Oh,
you can see.
You're doing great without it.
You can see the remorse.
Each turn, she's like, yeah.
weapon!" So much better if I
Kate was
have
like,
her.
this one? All right.
We all have weapons. Yeah.
We get it. You have weapons. I like that.
Does it cost me anything to use that special feature? Like, does it cost a key point or
It doesn't cost anything, it's just at the expense of damage. It doesn't do damage.
Right, okay.
So you can try and do a damaging whip, or you can like try and yank.
Okay, but Dox is okay, I'm gonna try and Kayt him off
Pull
the
him off the horse
yeah.
again. Great. Okay, give me. No, he makes a against your. Yeah, I save against your. Yeah, what was 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, her save's 14.
That's not very good.
That's pretty good.
12.
Nice.
So read the text on that. So
Oh,
Kayt
yeah,
has a
what do we
special
got?
bull whip that has like special
That's cool.
things you can do with
Which
it.
text? This one?
Of the bull whip.
Weapon adds 5. The special. Okay, when you attack with this weapon, you can make a special melee attack to trip or pull a creature. The attack deals no damage, and the target makes a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check against your ability save DC. You succeed automatically if the target is incapacitated. If you succeed, you either knock the target prone or pull it 5 feet toward you. The creature must be size large or smaller, and a large creature has an advantage on its check.
Great. We did that a little bit wrong. You do need to hit it with an attack, but we're gonna do that later. Whoops. But you do have the option. Do you want to knock him prone, which would just kind of pull him off his horse in the spot that he's in, or pull him toward you? You do have that choice.
Just knock him over.
Great.
Yeah.
You get the whip around his leg, and you just yank as hard as you can, and he's gonna fall right there next to Doxley off the horse. And he's gonna fall prone.
Dox has got this. I see that spear.
So
Getting knocked prone there.
Can we fist
Be
bump?
prone.
she gives you a very
There we
curt
go.
nod.
Whoosh, falls into the kind of foliage there. He is gonna take 1 bludgeoning from falling off the horse.
I was gonna say.
Idiot.
I'm gonna try and
Who
fist
takes
bump
damage?
this person whose name I don't know.
She does not see you. She's not facing you. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, can I run back to where I was?
You would need to use a key point.
Oh, nah, this guy has safe.
Okay, because you used all your movement.
I'm here.
To this point. Okay, who's next?
After Kayt, it's the Horton.
All right, Horton is going to pull himself up off the ground, and I need everyone to make perception checks for me.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, here we go. 4.
15.
17.
17.
Vice
There we
versa.
go.
25.
25. Okay,
Nice.
the 3. Oh, what was your
15.
15.
Yeah,
Okay,
fair.
everyone
High advantage.
but Doxley, who's very much sort of preoccupied with Horton there. As the action is swirling around you, people, weapons clashing, whips cracking, sort of picks being thrown and stabbed into people. There's all this noise. There's a lot of kind of grunting and a lot of people, some of the people in the wagons are like shouting. Some of the people in the like back wagon are like, stop it! Like just trying, sort of panicking here, trying to figure out what's happening, trying to figure out if someone's gonna be sort of killed or taken hostage or what the situation is. As all of that's going on, cutting through the clamor of this like robbery ruckus that's going on right here, you pick up on a sound that could have easily gotten lost in the commotion, if not for the high pitch and consistency of the tone.
Fuck.
It sounds like a whistle, and you'd guess that its origin is a decent distance away. It doesn't sound close. It looks like, or sounds like it's coming from back in the direction from where you came. For some among you, the whistle barely registers, especially Doxley, who doesn't see it. But those left of the Tiefling's posse, which is most of them except for the one that got killed there, they all swivel their heads like almost in practiced unison, all fighting, and immediately all of them sort of recognize the tone of this whistle here. It becomes instantly clear that the signal bears some kind of significance to them. Eyes go wide. Defensive steps are taken backward away from you. And the Tiefling, that whistle that he had around his neck, he pulls it out from behind his scarf, and he blows it with every ounce of strength that he has. And as he blows into the whistle, immediately all of his posse starts to turn to run. You watch as people on horseback spin their steeds and gallop into the woods, perpendicular to the road. Anyone else that's left on foot starts a feverish sprint past the outcrops that they once lay behind in wait. Baker scrambles to get atop the driver's bench that he's on. As he does, the Tiefling who just blew the whistle, "Disperse!" shouts to his company. Baker gets to the driver's bench, he gets up, and he looks over the roof, sort of back in the direction of you guys and the other wagons. And you watch as he, with wide eyes, "Everyone get back in the wagons!" Clerics coming.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And he gets down onto the driver's bench and immediately whoosh, whips the reins. And that's where we're gonna go to a break.
Oh my
Oh my
God!
god! That's crazy. That's not. Oh, wow. Okay.
So with the fight breaking out and people moving in all directions, immediately people like scattering into the woods. Some people just like dive into bushes to obscure themselves. Like, whoop! And immediately their sort of ghillied suit starts to protect them just sort of from any kind of surface level detection. And they're all running away. You've been ordered by Baker to get back into the wagons, and that's where we're gonna pick it up right
Oh
now.
my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
What?
An excellent first stab at combat here. TC took a good wallop there.
Hot damn.
I thought we were going to be introduced to
a new
massive damage.
On the
no,
first
massive
day.
So 16 damage would have done it, and I took 14.
Yeah.
So 2 more points, and I would have possibly
Oh, jeez.
passed the.
Would've been-
He was
Wow.
nice while we
Would've
knew.
been cool.
Not died, but been very.
Roll a d8. See what would have happened.
Ooh, exciting.
Roll one.
5. I would have been sad, but not.
You would have been
dead.
stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I know. It's really bad.
All right, everybody, we're going to pick it right back up there. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see what is lying in wait further down the path when we return.
Okay.
And you guys did a good job defending the wagon against these this
we?
bandit raid.
I don't know if you're over high five, but
You bought enough time for them to scatter.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. This is good.
That's nice of
The
you.
first thing Morna does is run over to the roof and try and grab her weapon.
Worst idea.
All right, everybody. Yeah.
The break video is not only all of us rolling for our stats, but also is rolling for our HP. So if there's a class that's still unclear, I doubt it, but go ahead and stick around and watch it. For people on TikTok, we're gonna go offline and then come back online for a second part of the stream. And we'll thank people for their wonderful donations and bits when we come back.
Awesome. We're on our way to Brunkhollow, everybody.
Let's
do
go.
it.
Holla!
See you guys on the other side. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, we're right in the thick of it, so we're gonna jump right back in, and we're gonna do a quick thanks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I was like, is it my turn?
No, and then we're gonna
Is it
waste
my
no
turn? Is it my
time.
time?
We're gonna
Okay.
dive back in.
Okay, here we go. Jimmy Pearl gave out a sub. Seth 1690 resubscribed. Ignorant Science gifted a sub. Whirly Nerdish resubscribed. Brave subscribed. Hopeful Optimist subscribed. Sunchaser subscribed. Roar Knight gave out a sub. Thank you. Major Valkyr subscribed. Anonymous Gifter did 1 sub. Roar Knight gave out another one. Boney Jabroni gave out 2 community subs. Sir Hobe is a subscriber now. Thank you. Nice Guy gave out 5 community subs. Thank you so very
Thank you.
much.
Choo choo, everyone.
thanks. Oh, another buddy, Xander. You were in there. Thank you, Xander.
Oh,
Wow, someone has a lot of friends. Wow.
Is that our TC drink?
he's got like friends. That's weird.
That's right. I've been trying a new thing recently. We'll see if it works out.
After Baker issues the order,
Jesus.
there is a mad scramble as people try to get back to the carriages. Chaos ensues as doors are slamming, people are running through the reeds, people are ducking back inside. As some people try to get back into the carriages, you notice some of the people that were left inside. The half-orc had kind of pulled himself down below the window, and now for the first time you watch his eyes kind of peek up above, and he sees Morna and Kayt like charging back toward the wagon, and immediately sort of pushes the door open to allow you inside. You guys can hear TC coming down from the hillside there. You hear like a as he slides down the last remaining portion of the hill and works his way back
Coward.
toward the wagons.
Making sure that my shit is not still on the ground.
2 things that you notice. First of all, the driver of the second wagon has vanished. She picked up and started running into the woods with
biatch.
the other bandits, members of the posse. So the first wagon starts to kind of lurch as Baker whips the reins, and it's starting to pull itself forward. But the second wagon has no driver.
As I'm coming towards it, I see
Yep.
there's no driver. I'm running towards the driver.
Great. TC gets up onto the driver's bench, takes the reins. Give me an animal handling check. As that's going on, Baker whips the reins, and are you guys jumping back into the wagon?
Still there?
Horton took the horse, turned,
And
and he hopped back on the horse. There was probably a moment where you could have struck at him if you wished to.
No, I would just like to say,
Okay.
it was nice to meet you.
He gives
See you in town.
He gives like a look back, and he almost winks at you and
My heart.
rides off into the woods there.
Before Doxley gets into the carriage, she's
Yes.
gonna pick up her 2 javelins
You may
and
do
also
so.
try to search for the little boy's dagger.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Is any of my shit on the ground?
Like the boxes that were
Yeah,
being
yeah,
tossed
yeah.
off. Not that you can see.
Okay, good.
15.
15. You were able to retrieve the dagger from the boy's dagger.
From the boy.
From the boy.
Yeah.
It was just it had hit that rock on the far side, so you quickly swipe it.
Great. As I turn around to the carriage, time to go.
There's a moment there where Doxley thinks that you guys are gonna have to like grab and sort of get a running start to get onto the wagon. However, the wagon lurches forward and then settles back into place. As the wagon had come to an abrupt stop here, as the posse showed themselves, it kind of ran into a little sort of narrow ditch on the right side of the road, and immediately Baker, I need help with the wagon.
Get the
Throw my
horses.
great sword
Help.
back. Yep.
The
We're
2
gonna-
of you
yep,
get over to the
start
wheel.
pushing.
Great. Both of you give me athletics checks. What was the animal handling check?
13.
13.
Nat
okay.
20, baby.
Nat 20.
Oh yeah. Dirty 20.
For a second there,
it.
Baker like looks like he's gonna hop off the driver's bench to help you, and he takes 1 foot and looks over, and the two of you.
Jean Valjean.
And Baker whips, and it starts to move. The boy opens the door on that side, and the two of you grab the door and swing yourselves inside, getting back into the cabin. And he still has the shield kind of over his back. Nice. And he hands the shield back to you.
I'll hand the dagger back to him and give him a wink.
That carriage begins to move. Immediately behind, the second wagon begins to move. Now, both wagons begin to move along the road here as fast as they can, gaining momentum, the speed going and going and going. The wheel dislodged allows Baker to give the reins another urgent snap, and the horses continue down the road. The sounds of snapping twigs and banging of the doors kind of slamming shut as people get back into the wagons, the stomping hooves, the groaning wheels, it's all around you, and you hear the wagons start to pick up speed. Besides this atmosphere of panic, nothing about the environment around you has changed. So for a time, it feels like you're fleeing from nothing. Like someone said, let's go, and everyone went, but there's nothing. You don't see anything, you don't hear anything. It's just the wagons moving as quickly as they can along the trail. In its haste, the second wagon clips a protruding root as you're sort of driving it, causing a big bump in the cabin. And everyone in the cabin sort of bounces up and slams against the ceiling there, sort of in your mind maybe blaming TC out there on the driver's bench. Both of you take 1 bludgeoning damage. When you settle back into your seats, you can see that one of the small chests that was strapped to the roof still comes loose and is now kind of, there's a piece of rope attached to it, but it's slamming against the side of the carriage as it's moving. So it's like, kung, 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 and the half-orc immediately like scrambles over to that side, and he's trying to like pull the chest in from like through the window, and he looks to the two of you, and he's trying to pull the chest through the window.
Okay, we'll help.
Give me athletics checks, both of you.
What's going on back there?
Uh-oh. 16.
16.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. One of you grabs the half orc, one of you grabs the chest, and all three of you, like in a heap, kind of fall back into the wagon. As you do, the box kind of, it only opens for a slight second before he like slams it shut. Give me perception checks.
Oh,
both of
come
you.
on, guys. Come on.
Fuck. 9.
14.
Slams it shut, unable to get a peek at
Oh,
what's Give it to me! So he's like huddling with it, but on the floor of the wagon here that's bumping up and down as you move along the road. As you continue on, there is, as you're continuing to sort of climb in elevation here as the carriages move forward, your sightlines are better looking back than forward because you're moving up, so it's harder to see up the hill than it is to see what's behind you. Now that the tiefling and his posse have fully sort of dispersed into the woods, the only trace of movement belongs to something that's barely discernible. As you fight to steady yourself against this reckless motion of the carriages, a couple times people peek their head out the windows to try and get a look at what's back there, if anything's chasing you or in pursuit. This object that's moving in the distance probably wouldn't be visible at all, if not for the fact that it's slightly brighter than its surroundings, emitting kind of a dull, amorphous light, almost like something bioluminescent in the ocean. And just like something in the ocean rising to the surface of the water, the light is growing in intensity. There's a slight twinkle, and the light disappears for the briefest of moments. And then it reappears. This time, in a streaking arc, closing the gap of distance between you in just a matter of seconds. This light, white hot with a bluish tail like a comet, propels itself forward and strikes the canopy of a tree up on your left. And there's an explosion of flame, a shower of sparks, flaming organic debris raining down around you. I need TC, because you're outside, to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Come on, TC.
Yeah.
Let's go, big boy.
And Baker's gonna make one as well.
23.
That will
Nice.
save. Baker fails.
Oh, shit.
his.
Oh, poor guy.
You take half of 7, so you take 3 fire damage.
Okay.
And Baker takes the full 7 there. As some of that flaming debris falls down, he sort of knocks it out of the way, and you watch sort of pieces of bark that are still aflame sort of scattering by the side of the road. You continue forward, and you can hear the first carriage passes by, the second carriage passes by, and TC, who's out there in the front, you start to hear...
It's coming down!
And the tree that got hit begins to collapse, and TC looks up, and you whip the horses again to push them forward, and the tree crashes, and the third wagon just disappears from the flame and the ash and the smoke all around you. You give a look back, and you can't even see the wagon at all. Pieces of wood are flying, flames are going up, there's smoke everywhere, and it just disappears.
Nice knowing you.
The ride continues on. The forest gives way to a field, sort of an open field. And nervously, you keep your eyes behind you on what might be approaching. As you get to this portion of the field, Baker reaches down, and you guys can kind of hear this. You hear kind of a, like a lever of some kind. Baker has reached down to his feet, and he pulls a lever, and as he does, behind, sort of in the trunk of the wagon, a little flap opens, and as it does, smoke comes billowing out to cover sort of your escape here. And as the smoke comes out, TC sort of pushes through, and the smoke goes into your eyes and over your face, and those of you inside the wagon, it's suddenly like dark, as if, you know, a rainstorm had just come on, and the light completely goes out. Everybody covers their mouths, close their eyes, and you push through the smoke, and it's just for a moment, and then finally the daylight comes again, and everybody takes a deep breath. You look behind you, and there's that cloud of smoke that's sort of billowing in the air. And you get further and further into the field. The smoke remains unperturbed for a matter of seconds before a rider comes barreling through it.
Jesus.
Too far to make out any detail, but hunched very low to the horse's mane, almost like a jockey that's racing, like very, very low to the horse, through the smoke and into the field. It's disturbing the amount of ground that it's covered so quickly. And indeed, the mount seems to be almost gliding across the uneven earth with ease as it closes in. At a distance of about 400 feet, and with an expressionless gaze, the rider reaches out to its left, and another ball of light begins to form. Not looking to miss this time, the rider concentrates on getting closer, and the horses speed up. 300 feet. 250 feet.
Brace yourselves!
200 feet. The man across from you in the lead wagon, the one with his son, he holds his son tight to his body, and he covers the eyes of his son, and he sort of pulls him as tight as he possibly can. Although the boy is making an effort to, like, still look out the window to see what's going on. Crossing the line from triple-digit to double-digit distances, less than 100 feet, the rider rears its arm back and rotates at the shoulder like it's about to lob something, like a big arcing toss. And as it does so, Baker takes a look back, and he bellows out from the front, "Throw it off its fucking aim! Throw it off!" And he takes his hand crossbow, and he tries to fire back. The bolt misses by a mile off to the side, but the orb of light is still forming, and you can see him trying to sort of motion to people to throw or do something.
I'll try to do the same with my hand crossbow.
Great. What's the range on the crossbow?
I mean, it's disadvantaged at, disadvantaged to 120.
It's less. He's less than 120 away from you,
Okay.
so you can take a disadvantage shot at him.
13.
13's gonna miss. As the bolt goes out, there's like a flash of light, and the bolt just disintegrates in the air. And the rider continues forward.
Something else!
All right, go ahead.
I say, boy, what does that dagger mean to you? Do you want to save the day? All right, I grab it and I just try to hug it out.
What is the thrown range of the dagger? Let's find out.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to save the day?
Do you want to save the day?
60 feet. You're gonna have to wait for it to get a little closer.
Okay,
I'll wait.
So Illien's sort of there with his dagger.
I'm gonna lean out the window, one of my javelins, and give it a throw.
Like
Fuck.
sidearm out the window. Whoops,
Oh.
sidearm out the
Jesus
window,
Christ.
throwing the javelin. Making an attack roll.
Disadvantage, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's. Is it even worth using? It's not. That's gonna miss.
Okay.
Wait. Sorry. Hold on. 4, 9. I'm gonna use the superiority die and try to use precision attack.
Okay.
Ooh, huge.
Go ahead and
Okay.
read that. We have.
All right. When you make a weapon attack roll against a creature, you can expend 1 superiority die and add it to the roll. You can use this maneuver before or after making the roll.
Okay.
All right.
So just before you release the javelin, you sort of focus.
So that was a 9 to hit. Oh, this is gonna have to be a good fucking
You
roll.
got it, you got it, you got it.
14 to hit.
It's gonna miss. The javelin goes out, and once again, with a wave of the hand, the javelin just disintegrates in midair. And you see sort of Baker sort of looking with panic behind him, and because no one was able to throw him off, it hits the back wagon. I need everybody to give me dexterity saving throws on the back wagon there.
We're third wagon.
Natural
I
one.
also got a natural.
Are you serious, guys?
18.
18.
I'm done for it.
11 fire damage.
You're fine. Fucking bonus action, bro.
Yes.
Use your fucking healing surge.
11 fire damage.
If I can use a healing surge, I'm not. That doesn't put me down, but I will use a bonus action healing surge.
Okay, immediately as you do so. Okay, go ahead and read the healing. We're doing optional healing surge rolls, as this is a low magic campaign. Some of the martial classes have the ability to sort of summon a bit of strength in a time of need.
As a bonus action, the character can use a healing surge and spend up to half his or her hit dice for each hit dice spent. In this way, a player rolls the die, adds the con modifier, regains HP equal to the total. You can decide to get more. When you use it, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest, and you get all of your hit die back at the end of a long rest. And you get a sum back at the
Great.
end of a short.
So you can only use up to half, which means only 1 at level 3.
Heal a little bit here. Oh, full. 8 plus 4.
Nice.
12
Yeah.
damage. Immediately, with sort of putting out the flames on your jacket there, you summon, let the world slow down around you, and then whip the reins once more to get them moving again. Once again, another orb of light in its hand begins to form, and you see Baker he's trying to reload his crossbow and sort of man the reins on the front wagon there. Shit.
Baker, are we close?
I don't fucking know!
I've got a thing of Alchemist's Fire, and I want to just throw it kind of straight up so that it comes
sweet.
back down behind me.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I want to take a look back to see how close he is at this point.
He's probably about 60 feet.
Okay, so I'm just doing it like really kind of straight up enough to clear the wagon.
Okay. Make a range. This is gonna be with disadvantage because you're not even looking.
I just mean I don't want to hit him. I want to hit the ground behind me.
Okay, yes,
That's
you
the
can do
goal.
that.
Is like if he's coming straight on.
You just
I
want to
wanna
land between the two
and
of
I
you.
just want it to land between the two
Sure,
of us.
you may do so. Give me just a acrobatics or athletics check, just to try and aim it in the right spot.
18.
18, great. You gauge. You're going in a very straight line currently, so you hold it kind of out in front of you. You give it a couple bounces, and then throw it. There's like a little whirl tornado, and as it breaks out, it lands very close to the person on horseback, and they have to sort of pivot and sort of zigzag back and forth to get out of the explosion radius of the fire.
Yeah.
After doing so, they pivot the horse around, and then that probably bought you another 60 feet, so now like 120 feet, and now it's starting to move once more. Continues to ride, and the wagons continue to
Gonna
rattle
drink
along.
my potion of fire resistance.
You may do so. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Go ahead and do that.
I want one of those.
Loading another crossbow bolt.
Loading another crossbow bolt. Excellent.
God.
Anybody got anything else to throw?
I don't think I
Waiting
have
for the right moment.
The clerics start to close in again. 120 feet, 100 feet, 80 feet. You're gonna fire off another shot?
As soon as he's within 120.
Yep,
yeah.
he is. Go ahead and fire it off.
Disadvantage. 10.
The bolt disintegrates in midair once more. He's got the flaming ball in his hand, and he reaches up once more, and he looks like he's about to do another lob, and just as he does, and as his hand comes forward, the light disappears.
That's it! We've hit the cusp!
And the rider looks at the hand, and the horse begins to slow. And he pulls up the horse. pulls the horse around. Starts to move in the opposite direction. Gain distance quickly as you guys move further and further away. You watch as this figure in the middle of this field starts to get smaller and smaller until they can barely be discerned. And now without the light sort of in their hands, they quickly become indiscernible, just another object on the horizon. Those of you in the second wagon, you see the look of utter relief on Gujek's face, sort of shivering in sort of disbelief at his position here. He's sweating, even with the cool air, you can see the sweat kind of dripping down his face and his neck and his arms. The open swath continues, this sort of wide open field here. As you guys continue moving through the field, the young boy sort of wrestles himself free from his father's grasp. Ain't that something? To see it with our own eyes. Fuck the Cusp. And fuck the clerics. We made it.
I lack the proper words my own self, boy.
I hand the dagger out to him and say, thanks for being brave. You did good.
It saved us.
That it did.
Am I the only one who wants to get out and give him a good mooning?
How about we all hold you out the window and you show your ass that way?
All right.
Sir,
right.
and I'll look to the dad.
He's like, he's just like breathing heavy from the shock of it.
All right, boy. I'll hold his hands.
He gets like in a squat position, so he's like shoved in the windowsill there.
Okay, yank the bottoms of my pants.
That.
All right, sure.
Illien, why don't you do that one?
The pants go down, and the butt shines into the open air. And as he does so, the kid sort of reels back. Fuck the clerics! You got sees the buttocks appear in the window in front of you. You hear the kid shout.
Good.
When Morna hears that, she's gonna put her hands to her forehead, or her hands to her eyes, her hands to her mouth, and her hands to her heart. She's gonna do it 3 times. And her hands have stopped shaking from the rage and all of the excitement. She's just like blank.
Kayt's just gonna start laughing hysterically, like with relief. Like, did anyone else just see that?
Continuation of this land gives you a chance for your heart rate to settle and the sweat on your skin to cool. Occasionally, someone chuckles quietly to themselves, not because of anything amusing said or done, but simply because of the sheer bewilderment of it, at what you've just collectively experienced. There's a lot of silence for the next 30 minutes to an hour as you try to empty your mind and just appreciate the beauty of your surroundings, which is truly something to behold, even given what you've just gone through. The openness of the land, the clarity of the sky, mountains revealing themselves in layers, miles away behind the hills, shades of gray, these mountains sort of one after the other to draw the eye to what is unfurling in front of you, which is that the terrain is beginning to level off, and then it dips down into the river-laced Brunkhollow Valley. You've seen small developing towns before, but the one that sits at the base of this valley has something magnetic about it. A place of unusual optimism, even for the most cynical and weathered ruffians. The buildings have what look like a small aura around them, but it's actually just clusters of tents beyond the village proper. People having come here in a hurry and now waiting for either the time or the money or the permission to construct a permanent place of residence. It's so obvious even from a distance that even in the short time it's existed, people have flooded here from all places. People who've heard about this, who came to give Brunkhollow a chance. Its placement where the streams intersect, there's kind of 4 rivers here in the valley, and they intersect loosely in a similar place, and that's right where the village is. And at this time of day, to look at it directly, you see the sun sparkling off the water as if a magic barrier needs to be crossed to enter town. And in a way, a magic barrier kind of was crossed just now, although its nature remains very mysterious, as the day it was discovered less than a year ago. As the caravan crests the hill, you can hear Baker breathe heavy. He takes off his hat, wipes his brow, and he slows the carriage to the point, and you slow it sort of behind, to the point where now people can kind of hear people talking. It was quite loud as everyone was moving as quickly as possible. He takes his hat and wipes his brow, and he points out into the distance. He's not talking to anyone in particular, but he's sort of speaking to the group as a whole, points down into the valley. He points to the largest singular structure in the valley, which actually lies maybe a 20 to 30 minute walk east of the main village.
The biggin on the east side is the prison. Fort Contrition, they call it. But you'll hear plenty refer to it as the Repenitentiary. Whatever you may think of it, they're the reason this place was found out to be what it is. So if you like, you can give them your thanks whenever suits you.
Puts his hat back on his head.
I'm gonna take you down over the Little Hook River, and I'm gonna drop you off at Bernard's boarding. It's where I get my horses seen to, my wagon's patched up, and that's where I say goodbye to y'all.
Mackland.
Kind of, he leans back, you're sort of shouting out the window, and he can hear you.
Who is that tiefling? Seemed like you knew each other.
Yeah. The name's Horton Boyd. And I'd be lying if I said that was the first time he'd set up an ambush. He's got sources in some of the surrounding towns, tries to identify people of means traveling. Now me, I don't ask questions. I don't care what you're carrying, where you're going, or why you're going. But there are those who would take advantage of the situation.
So he's not a resident of Brunkhollow?
No, I imagine if Istigh or Bison found out about road agents working out here, they'd send somebody to clean them up real quick.
Can I hear this? Can I hear this?
Yeah, he's shouting back there. His conversation. We can even say that you pulled the carriage like almost, not fully side by side, but like trailing it just a little bit.
And our friend who I graciously took the position of?
I thought she was reliable. You have my apologies for that, I suppose. Seems whatever Horton offered her was too tempting to give up.
This, Istigh, Bison, members of the Brunkhollow community?
That's right. You'll learn to know them both for sure. Two that have been there almost since the beginning. Istigh runs the courier office, mail house. And Bison's got the biggest mining claim that doesn't belong to the prison. Largest independent claim, I guess you'd call it.
Would they get a kick out of, us giving the Horton boys a good spanking?
I think they would, yeah. Although, you might be lying if you said that was a spanking.
I don't know what fight you were watching, but I got him pretty good.
No offense intended.
Thanks for standing up with us. Appreciate that.
Of course. Reputation's at stake. Gotta defend my wagons. Otherwise, no one rides with you.
Will you turn right back around and head back out?
I will. Probably stay for a day, drum up interest in anyone who's looking to head back, and then I'll ride.
So are you the ones that got the half-orc?
There is a half-orc in this carriage.
Is that who they were looking for?
I don't fucking know.
Did you happen to take a look at what he's got?
I don't fucking know.
The two of you are in the wagon. He he can't. Doesn't seem like he's registering exactly what he's being said, but he heard the word orc and he immediately like perked up. It sounds like he knows that he's being talked about, even if he doesn't know exactly what's being said.
I'm just gonna kind of make eye contact with him and look at him like with disappointment, and look down at the crate, and then look back at him, and then look down at the crate, and as much as I can with my eyes, be like, "What's in the crate?"
I'm just gonna lean forward wordlessly.
Evidently, he doesn't speak a lick common.
And with nobody else able to see, sort of scoots forward a little bit. Give me a persuasion check.
Hans,
Can it
that
be
was
helped
in that
soon?
trunk.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
Didn't need my help.
A couple times as you're talking to him, you like indicate the chest a little bit. He leans forward. He pulls the rope that was still sort of wrapped around it, loose and free, and still gripping it very tightly. He doesn't hand it to you. He's gripping the case like very, very tight. And he puts his fingers over the top, and he cracks it open. And inside, you don't recognize it, but it's filled with what look like alchemical supplies. Liquids of various colors, some of them bubbling, some of them thicker, some of them very viscous, some of them that are in different containers, some of them are in metal tubes, some of them are in glass tubes. Like, he has at least like one layer and then another layer underneath that must be 16 vials of various liquids and so he opens it a little bit, makes sure that you're able to kind of see what's inside, and then
Fair enough.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put my hand out and see if he'll like let go of the crate to like shake my hand.
he sees the hand and he looks at the crate very briefly.
Just gonna give him a nod.
Well, it seems kind of important to know what he has, what they wanted so bad.
You can ask him when you get there your goddamn self.
If I can impose upon you, I'd say make that business your own when you get to Brunkhollow. I don't want to know.
Fair enough.
I make my living staying out of the business of others.
TC goes, boom, boom, boom. What you got in there?
He hears the half-orc hears the thumping and sort of,
And then I'm gonna.
and he looks to the two of you.
I don't know, Perfume Man. Like you said, he doesn't speak common.
Don't mind them. Don't mind them.
Guys continue to ride through the open valley here.
I want to see the dock. Well, thanks for inspiring me not to turn tail back there. I wasn't sure what the right move was, but I appreciate you leading the way for me.
You did good, El.
I fucking missed that guy. You see how I jumped off the fucking... Yeah, it was awful.
I did see. I saw that you also didn't hit him at first. You just kind of went for a weird grab, which we've got to have a talk about.
I didn't want to
We're
kill
not
him,
gonna just
man.
go into Brunkhollow and give everybody a fucking hug.
I didn't come to Brunkhollow to be a fucking murderer. I just wanted to get him off our hides.
All right, El. It was good.
As you guys are having that conversation, the kid pokes his head out the window once more. He's looking kind of down into Brunkhollow Valley. So many rivers to choose from. Maybe I'll take the day and make sure I set foot in each one, just to prove I can without catching a lashing.
Make sure you come back to us and tell us which one's the best.
I will, sir.
Right.
Wes.
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 It's nice to meet you, Wes.
As he says his name, you can see his father sort of, like, he doesn't resist, but he's cautious about telling people identities. Yeah. So
Shut your fucking mouth.
didn't seem happy with it, but he certainly doesn't stop him.
Wes, sir. If anybody ever gives you trouble in town, you find us, yeah?
Will do. You hear that, Pa?
Yeah. Thank you.
Name's Illien.
Rufus.
Rufus.
We're the Diamonds.
It's been a pleasure. You should work on that snoring, though. This is dreadful to be next to you.
Oh, sorry.
He seems genuinely like he didn't know that he snored. Seems embarrassed.
Aww.
You guys move down into the valley with what's left of this caravan. There's a wide kind of snaking course and a more measured pace, not just because you're no longer running for your lives, but because the downhill trajectory carries with it the risk of kind of the wagon starting to run away if you get too much momentum moving. Baker's expertise in these matters is evident, and with his steady hand, the carriages never pick up too much speed to kind of a worrisome extent. From above, the valley seemed so open and wide, but as you descend, you once again kind of have woods in abundance around you, though not nearly to the dense extent of the road hours earlier, and between the trees, you can continuously catch glimpses of the buildings that are getting closer and closer. In what feels like just moments later, like you descend into the trees, kind of ride for a while, and then all of a sudden it opens up again, Baker swings this little mini procession around to the right, and the Little Hook River appears right before you. Its abundant outflow providing a steady background as you make for the bridge. And just before you get there, you pass by a cemetery that seems kind of ample in its level of occupancy for a town this small. No secret at all that settling here has its fair share of risk. As you pass by this cemetery, you note both Wes and Rufus sort of clock the cemetery. Like the father sort of touches him and they both look out the window and then they look to each other and they sort of nod and then look back out the window toward the cemetery. You start to move towards the river, and your crossing, in a way, it kind of grounds the mythical entity that was Brunkhollow. Conceptually, you've heard of it so many times, no gods in Brunkhollow. And now, you're just sort of seeing this town that looks like any other. Busy and boisterous, a frontier town, but simple. The thoroughfare is brimming with citizens of all shapes and sizes, races, temperaments. More than once, Baker has to holler at somebody to move out of the way to allow the carts to continue making room. He steers the carriages toward a large red-roofed sort of shelter adjoined to a very large fenced-in piece of property. Seeing the wagons coming, an elven man with what looks like kind of a clouded left eye that looks non-functioning, maybe like a glass eye. He leans over the railing and he removes his gloves. He had these kind of dirty work gloves that looked like he was sort of working with hay or moving some of the dirt around in the sort of fenced-in area. He removes his gloves and he seems to recognize Baker as he's sort of getting closer. The two of them sort of exchange glances with each other.
I thought you had 3. I made room in the stable.
And Baker gets a little closer.
Just the 2. Lost one by way of fire. And Horton's band is out playing again.
And with this, he kind of hops down from the driver's bench.
Make a favor for me and see that Izzy's made privy to it.
Fair enough. Y'all arrived at a curious interval. Most of the pillars in the camp are over at EOD, where Bison's called a meeting over something they found up at the digs.
Fine. All the same to me.
Baker begins to kind of gather some of his things, sort of check for any kind of wounds that might still be open, pats himself down. He walks up to the elf that's sort of leaning against the fence, and both Illien and Doxley can hear this sort of in that lead wagon. He's talking to the elf quietly, but he's not trying to like whisper to him, just a private conversation. And you hear him say,
That bottom tooth fella in the second wagon is gonna need help with his luggage, but he'll tip well for it. I was made to understand he wished to be installed at the hotel as soon as possible.
the elf responds.
I ain't much of a tour guide, but see what I can do.
Nods. Baker goes to the second wagon, and you can, inside the wagon, you feel it kind of shift as he goes up to the top, and he's starting to pull stuff down from the top of the roof. So that's the action that's going on right now. You guys have arrived in Brunkhollow.
So just so I understand.
Yes.
When he was having that private conversation, he's saying the half-orc is going to need... That's who he was talking about?
Yes, because the half-orc had quite a bit of luggage, and he was saying that guy's going to need help sort of getting his stuff over to the hotel, getting installed in the hotel.
We've come to a stop at this point?
Yep, you've come to a full stop. And also, for your reference...
We level up?
I should have gotten the map up on here. We'll do that later.
It's in the shared folder.
It is it?
Yeah.
I will do that then. Do this. I'm gonna, you guys, and I will bring it up on here as well. You are at Roman numeral 7, VII on the map there. So you came over that bridge across the river.
Yeah.
And now you find yourselves there. Which folder is it in the share folder?
It should be like Brunkhollow maps.
Ah, great. Perfect. Yes. Adequately
Are correct.
named.
I
Brunkhollow.
already fucked up.
So, is this Bernard's board?
This is Bernard, boarding by Bernard is what it's called. Yeah. Boarding by
Okay, BBB.
Is VI is 7?
is number 7 on the map there. Yep. And let me bring it up here on the thing.
Get ready for some sweet maps, folks.
Yeah.
Did our caravan ticket like secure us lodging already? So we like paid.
It did.
It was like
It's
all
just
in one.
all inclusive.
It's inclusive.
You have paid for the caravan already. You don't have to pay him now, but it does not include anything in Brunkhollow.
As we're coming to a stop here, and as TC's like, dusting himself off and you just hear him kind of muttering to himself. Are you all right, TC? See, you took a big hit for the team there, TC. Hope you're doing okay. Many, many thanks for taking up the reins, TC.
As I'm getting out, I'm gonna kind of wander over to TC and while his luggage is coming down and be like,
Enjoy your ride, I assume?
Thank you for taking the reins.
Thank you kindly for saying so.
And by the way, you smell amazing. Do you make these fumes or do you just peddle them?
Oh no, I as I say, I've got someone in the back pocket. I know where to get them. Is what I mean.
Oh, is that someone in Brunkhollow?
No.
So how are you gonna keep getting, or do you plan on selling these
I
things?
brought plenty. I brought enough for myself, and I could point you in the right way if you were to make your way back to the main cities.
All right. Well, I'll know who to talk to.
I'm gonna get out of the wagon and try to get my shit down.
Start to get your stuff down. The elf kind of opens up a gate and closes it behind him, and he comes over. He's not like rushing to help everybody, but again, he sort of pulls the last right glove off, sort of hangs his hands down by his side, shakes some kind of. He seemed to have been in the middle of some work in the fields, and he's sort of sweating a little bit. You can see it glistening on him.
Welcome to Brunkhollow. If you're ever in need of a horse to purchase, rent, or board, this is the place.
Boarding by Bernard, I assume it's yours truly.
Bernard it is. Who might I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Illien Tyrun.
Well, welcome to Brunkhollow.
Thank you.
As I said, I ain't much of a tour guide, but I'll tell you this for free. Unless you're just taking in the sights, there ain't too many places to go till they finish with their meeting over at EOD.
EOD.
Excavation on Demand. It's Bison's place. That's a name you'll hear frequently in Brunkhollow.
He's a miner, I understand.
Well, he doesn't do the mining himself, but yeah.
Got it. You were saying, sorry.
I wasn't saying much of anything.
Couple
Only-
places to stay.
Right, the only places the business that aren't at the meeting, or at least have enough staff to stay open, is Lucky Heathen's got staff on hand if you feel inclined to drink or gamble.
He describes the location of the Lucky Heathen. Sounds like it's sort of a saloon and gambling joint. That is number 11, Roman numeral 11 next side.
Lucky Heathen.
I'll bring up the mini map here.
How the hell do you spell heathen?
Heathen.
Right.
Heath and
Is this? Oh, no, that one. Let's go.
11.
Intelligence -2, really.
There.
Nailing it.
Otherwise, your only real option is the lobby of the hotel. Can't imagine they'll be too long. They know they're missing out on business during the midday hours, so if you occupy yourselves, I'm sure everything will come back up and running.
And the hotel is...
He describes the location of the hotel. That is number 15. Next to be there on the map. And the name of the hotel is Paramount Lodgings.
Couldn't help but overhear that his half-orc friend needs an escort and somebody to carry his bags. Is that a task that possibly one of us could take up?
I suppose you could. I wouldn't mind the tip myself.
Takes out 1 gold. Yes, do.
He raises an eyebrow.
I was made to understand the tip was something substantial.
Name it.
5.
4.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my god.
Oh. No, I have so many minuses. 9.
9.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Wait, you shut up. You shut your
I
damn
will.
mouth.
I'll do
You
it.
shut
I'm
it.
doing it right now.
You've already used it.
Oh, it's once per day. Right.
It's once per. I think you need a short rest or a long rest.
I'll tap it.
That's
Okay,
fine.
never mind. I lose.
Look, I'll just do it myself and get the full amount.
5 gold.
Pockets it. Help him out as you please.
Cheers.
I make my way over to these three now. Say, well, I appreciated you guys helping us out back there. Didn't get a chance to really catch up after us, so thanks.
Helping who out? Did you have some kind of connection to this person in the carriage that we had with us?
No,
Do you speak orc by any chance?
I can't say I do. No.
At the word orc being spoken again, he's like getting his luggage down the half orc and he sort of hears that word.
We're like, oh,
Did you check if he speaks anything else?
doesn't really seem like he does, or he is an incredible actor.
I want to say in Infernal, hello.
There's no reaction.
I want to say in
whatsoever.
Aquin, how's your day going?
I guess I haven't tried Elvish, so I'll just say, like, yo, what's up?
Oh,
All right, well I got
I'm
no.
gonna,
the
I'm gonna
shot.
go over to the orc and I'm gonna get his attention. Hi. I am going to take your stuff with you together up to the hotel. And I'll point to wherever the hell that is.
Hey, we seem to be on good terms. Do you mind if I come with you? Help out?
He's got a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, thumbs up, both of us. Trustworthy friendship.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Ah,
I'm doing a lot of persuading today. Wait, with advantage?
Just do it again.
Roll it twice.
Oh,
Take the higher number.
right.
Higher
Okay.
number, baby.
Oh, that was better.
Persuasion. 16?
16.
Nice.
He like looks around at his stuff and you can tell he's very protective, but there's a lot of sort of boxes around him and he
Great. All right. Well, let's start lifting and maybe we can get some more information out of him.
No, I doubt that, but I'll try. And go lift up some stuff.
No.
Are you guys coming with?
I'm perhaps I'm gonna go to Bernard and say, sorry, excuse me, sir. It's lovely to make your acquaintance.
Sure.
My name is Morna Istigh.
Bernard.
Lovely to meet you, sir. So you don't board, you only board horses.
You asking for a room?
Are there rooms to let here? Yes.
You'd want to head on over to the hotel.
Oh, my apologies.
I mean, I can offer you a stable, but
No.
can't guarantee its comfort.
No. I'll stay in a room. That's fine. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'll come along.
I'm gonna look over at her and be like,
It's okay. I was kind of confused too.
Boarding by Bernard could
Yeah, it
go
was like
a lot
boarding
of different
for
ways.
people or
Yeah.
for horses.
I agree. Thank you.
You
Speaking
don't
of,
really
do
say boarding for people. That's an animal.
A boarding house.
speaking of, do
Yes.
you think that horse is okay?
No.
Yeah. Bummer.
The horse. I'm sorry. The horse that was taking the wagon that got obliterated behind us? Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, I was a little distracted by a lot of other things that were going on. I didn't check in on
I
how it was
also killed a
doing.
man.
You. Someone died?
Yeah.
Someone died.
I
Someone
very
attacked me
nearly
and I killed a
died.
man.
Oh, okay.
Is that something that you do often?
No.
That's
He was
that's a
attacking
relief.
me.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Do I not look okay?
I seem to remember that the first attack was made not by those on horseback, but someone in the first carriage. Was that not true?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Is there something that you wish to add to that? Because there's a tone that I'm sensing.
Just
How about this? Because you all got roped into our
Ow.
plan, I'll treat you all to a drink later.
Ow.
On me.
That sounds mighty fine.
Perfect.
thirsty
All
after
friends.
that ride,
Thank
I
you kindly.
suppose. And anyway, I suppose I'm this half-orc servant today, so might as well keep that up.
Should we?
I'm gonna pick up my shit and grab a bag.
I mean, most of you don't have like luggage. You
Yeah.
have your bag with your belongings. He had like significantly more luggage than any single person besides that.
Grab a
To
bag.
Paramount then?
Leading the way, the half-orc kind of looks back, sees all of you sort of picking up his luggage, and starts to work his way down the thoroughfare there. Further down the thoroughfare, you guys have a little moment to walk here, and there's an intersection where kind of a small open-air market is bustling with activity. I'll come back to the place for you now. Vendors are hawking fruit, spices, fish, alcohol, coffee. The smells come through your nostrils, and it's a welcome relief after kind of general road smell of horses and droppings and the stale interior of the wagons. Right at the north end of these crossroads, a 3-story building stands with a very peculiar disposition. It's like patterned brick and stone at the base. And then the top 2 floors are very thin, sun-washed lumber up above. It's almost as if the owner underestimated the costs of construction. So the first floor is quite nice, and the second floors are rather shoddily put together. The front doors are open to this place. It's sort of a set of double doors that are open. And in the interior, you can see, it seems like the place has a very modest kitchen. There's some people that are just sort of eating some very small victuals and things as they're munching, and a couple people are having a drink, and the doors are open. You can see inside. There also was a little time to walk here if you guys wanted to just talk as you walked as well.
Is there anywhere for me to wash my weapon?
You crossed over water to come here. You crossed over the bridge. to get here.
I'm gonna go and give Bill a bath.
Okay. You watch. I mean, you're
Just
kind
gonna
of walking.
I'm gonna put the stuff sort of next to me,
Okay.
as I wander down the.
She disappears for a moment. She actually disappears out of sight. She turns around and goes the other direction.
Did she
You
say?
know what she's doing?
If she's splitting off, I'll kind of go with her.
Okay.
And
She peels off, and TC also does.
Yeah.
At that happening, the half-orcs are.
Do you want us to wait for you? I didn't catch her name. What's her name?
Wait, do we know at this point?
I'm
talk to
going.
the carriage.
Yeah.
Did you guys
The
drop
people who
your
were
shit?
in the carriage with each other, yeah.
Did you leave it or you take it with you?
If I'm following her lead with the stuff.
Did
Take
you
the
like
stuff.
drop it kind of in the vicinity of the hotel and then went
Yeah.
back? Okay, great. So she dropped it kind of near the door of the hotel.
Okay.
Sorry.
And I'll be like, I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
In that case, I did not follow. I was intending to follow if she had the.
No,
the
I'm
bins
not
too.
trying to
Gotcha.
absconce with anything.
Gotcha.
Yes, I'm just gonna leave it there.
She leaves
and
the box.
I'll be back.
When we were walking, was the half orc in front of us, leading the way?
Yes, you will.
Is what I am carrying locked?
It is.
Damn it.
It doesn't seem like it would be difficult to make open. It's a modest chest, but it is locked.
A little shake.
Okay. You hear glass
Oh shit!
rattling inside.
All right. Might not have been a total waste after all, Il.
What do you think? I'm taking his stuff?
No, just a good ally. No?
Oh, yeah, perhaps. We'll see.
Expensive stuff's in glass, yeah? Like good
Sometimes.
Good stuff. Nobody
Yeah.
just packs glass. There's stuff in here.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Sure, I hope. That'd be nice.
So what brings you guys to Brunkhollow?
Sightseeing.
Yeah, the views are supposed to be great.
Yeah.
What about you?
Same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bunch of average tourists. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about, I should learn your names.
Morna went away. So
Oh, yeah,
she's not here at
yeah.
the moment. But everyone else is.
Kayt.
Kayt. And
Under the guise of everyone's gathered here, and we've kind
Just
of
outside the hotel.
and
Yep.
we've kind of piled up those things.
Yep.
Under the guise of like turning away and being like the person who's like watching over it, I've taken out my thieves' tools, and
These fuckers.
if he at any point if he's trying to check in inside,
Okay.
I just want to try to do a little.
He does step through the threshold of the door, and it doesn't seem like he goes really far in, but he's putting his stuff just past the threshold
And
of the door.
and I'm giving him like a
Give me a stealth check first.
Here we go.
stealth check. 12.
12. The moment that you move forward to try to touch the thieves' tools to the thing, it's just this slight tine of metal on metal, like a tick, 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 and immediately, like, he is paranoid. He's past the threshold of the door, and he like comes back out. He didn't like see you trying to break it
start to pick
open,
my teeth
but he
or
did hear like
something.
kind of the metal of the lock.
do we see this happen or no?
Did you try to obscure it from them?
Yeah.
Give me perception checks, all three of you, and anyone who gets above a 12.
Oh my God, another nat one. I can't believe this.
No.
9.
Yeah, nobody noticed. TC. Now that he kind of heard something, he puts it just past the threshold of the door, but he never goes inside. He comes back out to get another one of his boxes. So he's going back and forth, kind of in that
So
little pocket.
Kayt and the unknown.
TC.
TC.
Does that stand for something?
Well, my mother always called me the charmer.
Do you feel you live up to that?
Are you doubting my mother's word?
No, we just met. I just want to know what I'm getting into.
I've never met your mother.
Did you think that you had?
Well, I don't know if she's trustworthy or not. How am I supposed to know whether or not I can trust her word?
All right, maybe we'll keep my mother out of this. Forgive me.
Are you here for sightseeing too, Perfume Man?
Yes. Perfume man is just.
Is that what that smell is? I was trying to figure out what that was. It's a little flowery, herby.
Oh, yes, and it just smells so good.
See, now the first time you said that, I believed you, but it seems like you're trying to just in the side on that one.
Does your mother like your perfume?
Oh my goodness. She loves it. We share the same. We share the same sense, she and I. The family bond that we have.
You wear your mother's perfume? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So a family of perfumers. That's what you're known for where you come from? Or?
No, we just enjoy them just the same.
Okay. Just
My goodness.
trying to understand who I've been traveling with. That's all it is.
A long travel you don't wish to sometimes smell like you haven't been traveling for 8 hours.
Sure. I mean, 8 hours seems kind of a short time to worry about your smell. I don't know.
Well, since we're all here for sightseeing,
Why didn't we go see some sights? After, I didn't catch the half-orc's name, but after he's finished and we've done our job, we can go sightsee.
You did hear his name was yelled several times. It was Gujek.
he's checking in, yeah?
He's not. He's right now. You guys had placed all the boxes kind of in a pile just outside the hotel, and he's like getting them one at a time and taking them
Okay.
just inside the door at the moment. Because it looks like right now there's no one behind the sort of main counter of the hotel, which matches up with what the elf said, that like the main business owners seem to have been called to this meeting somewhere. So right now he's just getting his stuff inside in the car.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm out at least a flask of alchemist fire, a handful of caltrops, and a not insignificant amount of ammunition. I was hoping that Guchek over here would perhaps make our day of it.
Well, produce your coin purse. Maybe he'll be persuaded.
I was hoping to get a look at what was inside of these cases instead, but we'll see if he does tips.
Unless we can find someone who speaks Orc, I don't know how much we're gonna get out of him.
It's a small town. We just got here. We'll check in with him eventually, and maybe I'll start learning Orc. We'll see.
We're gonna pivot over to the river there, where Morna has now sort of kneeled by the little hook there that you came over coming into town.
I've got my sort of belt is, cloth, and I'm gonna put Bill in the river, and I'm just gonna start vigorously scrubbing him, and I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry. I would have gotten to this sooner, but I know you don't like being dirty.
And you hear behind you, "What?" And you turn to see someone who's kind of coming over the bridge.
Hi.
You talking to me?
No, sir. I was talking to myself.
You said sorry.
Yeah.
You sorry to yourself?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's sad.
I suppose. Yeah, thanks.
He hands it to you. Can you grab the bottle?
Oh, shit.
Hall.
If you got a prop.
Yeah.
Prop ding.
He hands it to you.
What are you apologizing to yourself for?
Sins, I guess. You're not supposed to sin.
True enough.
What's your name?
Skits is what they call me.
Skits.
Yeah.
Morna.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I work at one of Bison's mining claims.
Yeah,
I ain't seen you, you flea bag.
I'm a fleabag, yeah. Just got in today.
Welcome to Brunkhollow. I'm drinking 'cause we're supposed to be out at the dig. But they found something, so they called a meeting.
What'd they find?
I'm not supposed to say.
I won't tell anybody.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, baby. Yeah.
You got it.
Oh. Wow. Okay, that's an 18.
Yeah, it's a 19.
Ooh.
I guess it can't hurt. Tell a flea bag. You ain't affiliated or nothing.
No.
You didn't come to work at the prison, did you?
No, sir.
We was at the dig and we was mining for mithril, and somebody uncovered some kind of statue that was long buried. It was big, bigger than a horse. We just kept digging, kept uncovering more of it. We called Bison over and he took a look. He thought it had look of religion about it. Some kind of statue or altar. Of course, that got people worried, you know, 'cause we come to Brunkhollow to get away from it.
Sure.
So now they call this meeting to decide what they're gonna do with it. Destroy it or dig it up or I don't know. But it's shit for me 'cause I was supposed to work today.
You won't get paid if you don't work.
Yeah.
Hardly seems fair. Since wasn't that you didn't want to work.
That's right. But whiskey's cheap, so I'm occupying myself.
maybe don't occupy yourself too close to the creek.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Skit.
Skits.
Skits.
Yeah.
Your mother gave you that name.
No.
Okay.
My real name's Skeeter, but people call me Skits.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Skits.
Yeah.
And as he kind of wanders away, you just get the impression like you're not even sure he's gonna remember this conversation. Like he's already, you can see the amount left in the bottle.
Yeah.
Like he's already sort of, he staggers back a couple times and then forward, and then he continues a little bit down the thoroughfare.
I'm going to give Bill a little kiss on his head, and I'm gonna sheath him.
I'm worried about her.
Why?
I'm super stable.
Why would you be worried? Why? And I'm going to walk back up and go and find my companions.
Okay, you continue down the thoroughfare. We'll pivot back to basically, this has been happening simultaneously. So you guys were having your conversation as she was talking to the guy by the creek there.
My friend, you're a client.
So you guys are outside the hotel now.
Do we know where the boy and his dad went?
After they got out of the carriage, it seemed like they had some tents up on the roof that they took off. And as you saw coming into town, like there's tents that people have set up if they don't want to pay for a hotel and they want to. So they grabbed their tents and they seemed like they were headed to maybe the outskirts of town. It was in a vaguely kind of northeastern direction that they headed. So yeah, they might be joining some other people to just avoid having to pay for lodgings or anything like that.
Doxley's gonna take a couple gold out of her coin purse and find the half-orc as he's putting things.
He's now like getting the last box and kind of bringing it inside there.
I'll follow him and holding some of the gold up, just pat one of the chests.
He like motions like,
Yeah. Yeah. Or she'll take out a couple more pieces.
How much do you have in your hand?
6 gold.
It doesn't even seem to, like, 6 gold doesn't even register on him. Goes inside, just inside the threshold, tends to his boxes.
Bye.
He seems like he's checking them to make sure none of them are broken or damaged or anything. He's not that far. He's like, 10 feet inside the door. So you guys are just out on the thoroughfare. You can still see him kind of, like the doors are open, so you can see him like.
Well, that was our job, wasn't it? That's all we had to do.
Well, it doesn't really look like anyone's there to check us in right now.
Well, we can go sightseeing. Or I can get you that drink if you'd like. Or...
I was gonna say, would anybody like a drink?
You sure? Welcome back.
Hi.
Are you feeling better?
Do I not look okay?
You look a little better.
Okay.
And as you guys are chatting, you hear something over your shoulder kind of coming from the south a little bit. You hear what sounds like clapping. Fleabags! Fleabags at my hotel!
Oh God.
Why, yeah.
Can I situate you with a room?
Yeah, what are your rates like?
Well, welcome to Brunkhollow. Why don't you come inside and we'll show you a listing of all the rooms available.
Thank you kindly.
Sure.
Hold off on that drink for now.
The offer's still out. Whenever.
No holding off necessary. We have drinks in the lobby.
Yeehaw.
Huzzah.
Like some part of this.
He like shuffles over. He's a human man that has kind of a large coat that maybe belonged to someone else at a different time. A couple times it goes all the way down to his feet, and a couple times he like steps on it accidentally and has to like right himself. He goes over to his counter and he pulls out a bottle and a number of glasses. I can give you that drink right here as a welcome present.
On the house.
On the house, as they say.
That's very generous of you.
Not only have I got drinks for you, I've got something in mind for Fleabags if people are looking for work, as they often are in Brunkhollow.
Wouldn't go amiss, I don't think.
Is it at the mines?
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Guys, clink glasses. Let's talk about the mines. And that's where we're gonna end it.
No.
As he was coming up to you, sort of approaching the hotel, there was also a small crowd of people like in the distance behind him. It seemed that whatever meeting was taking place has broken up, like people going back to their places of business. So he wasn't the only one kind of returning from whatever meeting this was. But he, you know, at the mention of the mine, he sort of tactfully circumvented the question, but he seems to want to discuss it further. You guys are here at Paramount Lodgings in Brunkhollow. And that's where we're gonna pick it up next.
Oh my god, do you speak orc?
Yeah, who speaks orc?
Who speaks orc?
This motherfucker money. Me, that orc is money.
Well, the good news is I get to do this again with you guys next week. That's awesome.
Oh my god, so many questions.
Next week and beyond, a little time to think about what you guys might be doing first in Brunkhollow, if not off to help the owner here of Paramount Lodgings. But a little bit of information acquired by Morna.
That was a
Big stuff.
juicy little secret.
I didn't go with her like I said.
She looks like she's full of secrets.
And the only one to know what was inside of Brujik's boxes.
Oh,
was
right.
Kayt.
I
Got
know
it.
too.
Oh, yes, you did get a look
Oh.
inside. Yep, that's correct. Yep.
Morna's
So-
got
We
all
have
the
secrets.
info.
A couple people knowing a little bit more than others as to what is and is not going on. And next week, perhaps some sightseeing.
Yeah.
A
Tourists.
lot of sightseers here. That's crazy.
Wow, what a coincidence. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was an absolute blast. It is just the beginning of our journey in Brunkhollow. So much more to come. We don't even really know. I didn't know if it was going to come up for different people, but we don't know why anyone's here in the party. Nobody was sort of forthright.
Literally
Three people looking at me
sightseeing.
like, you're doing sightseeing, right? Yeah.
We're going hiking.
That sounds great.
So next episode, maybe some tactful glimpses into what people may or may not be up to here in Brunkhollow. Plenty of people to meet. You've heard a few of the names in town: Bison, Istigh, Bernard over at the lodgings,
Wes.
Wes and his
Oh, I
father.
love Wes.
Skits.
What a great
Skits.
Birth name Skeeter.
Yeah.
Skeeter Skits. And you guys were phenomenal. I can't wait to pick it up again next week.
Oh, so excited.
You're
Thank you guys so much.
Matt, you're
Matt, yeah, you
Matt, that
killed it.
opening monologue? What?
I
Yeah.
hope you guys felt sermonized.
I
and
literally-
reprimanded.
I did.
Print the entire thing on a tote bag. I will buy it.
Yeah.
But what is the foot to the hand and the hand?
Yeah, a little rambling
Yeah.
in his
Willful lunacy?
willful
That was
lunacy.
Put it on a
That's a
shirt.
good line.
Idiots
Lot of-
going to Brunkhollow. Willful lunacy.
I just forever feel like an invertebrate now. I feel great.
Oh, slouching towards.
Before I thank people, I put the link to the Discord in the Twitch chat. Go ahead and find us there. Pokedogo should be creating a little forum thing where you can go into a specific channel and talk. No worries of spoilers. Talk about the episode. Talk about why we're here. Talk about our subclasses, our
Yes,
character
discuss.
art, all that good stuff. I'm gonna thank a few people really quickly. Also, I missed bits because you know the Twitch app. Jay Brownie did 1,000 bits, Ali Slater did 100 bits, Wizbrenank get 1,000 bits, Crazy Locha with 100 bits, Roar Knight gave it a sub, oh wait, I already did those, hold on. Vex Talon, 1,000 bits, Ali Slayer 100 bits, Crazy Locha 102 bits, Vex Talon 300 bits, Anonymous Gifter did 5 community subs, thank you so much.
Oh.
Wrangler, Spider Wrangler 2 bits, Roar Knight community subs, Sasu Y subscribed, subscribed, Wow Pennywise resubscribed, Erulise, the elf subscribed. Hello. Ali Slayer gave a sub. Raw Knight gave out 10 community
Oh,
subs.
goodness.
And then Ali Slayer did 200-bit arenos.
Thank you.
So the absolute
Thank you,
best.
guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm failing as a bartender. Oh, you're good?
We were
Got a
pouring
lot of jobs.
while you were
Moments
reading.
over. You have a lot of jobs, Jordan.
Oh, you are brave pouring that over your map there. That was
Got a steady hand.
Yeah.
Why not?
didn't even hesitate.
Here we go.
People think this is actually whiskey.
They are gonna think it's actually whiskey.
Where's Scumpleton? You know.
Thanks, everybody.
Sketch.
Natural Judy.
Your mom likes perfume.
Why did everyone talk about my mom?
You brought her up.
We have to meet her by the end of the campaign. I'm just so enthralled.
We're gonna talk about her every episode.
She can't
I'm
wait.
in Brunkhollow to learn about his mom.
Yeah.
What's going on? We during the break. I'm sure some people not in our group caught on. Why you rolling for your rages?
I'm not. What? I didn't do that. That didn't
You even
happen.
announced it. You were like, okay, so when I roll my d20 for my rage, that's totally normal.
No, that is normal. That's what. That's
What, you
how-
guys have never played a barbarian?
Wow, so funny. You guys have never played a barbarian. That's a normal thing to do.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
All right, everybody. Join the Discord. Say hi.
Confused.
We'll be around to try and answer questions and stuff. We'll be back next week, and we'll just pick it right up from there. And so many mysteries of Brunkhollow to unfold.
Oh
Just
yeah.
fast forward.
Hold on. I'm putting it. Somebody in TikTok was asking for the Discord link. We have a link
yeah.
tree. I don't know if links.
Oh
are
my God,
clickable
we're on
Twitch
TikTok.
Live, probably not. But we have a link tree with the Discord link there. It's just linktr.ee/tabletopnotch.
Is it on your tabletopnotch profile, like underneath your picture? On the
So
thing?
yes,
So
we
you
have a
hit,
link.
hit the top in the top left. Hit and go to the profile. There's the link right there.
Smash
Link
that
in
link.
bio.
tree.
Hey,
Link
smash
in bio.
that link.
Smash that link tree.
Smash it.
Smash the link.
Follow all
God, we got
socials.
some Gen Zs in here.
I'm smashing it now.
Is the link tree.
It's smash.
And that's it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
What a great
fun.
crowd out here tonight, and we hope to see you guys next week. Join us for another installment. So much more to come. This was just the beginning. Just the beginning. We love you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.